knew he had to be ready because they was coming at him. And then once he started seeing it, it got real for his life. It got real. Every day, it got real.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real.
Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Real life street stars. Hold on. We got him. Drop in the building, man. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, man? How y'all brothers doing, man?
Man, we doing good, man. For those that are deaf, dumb, stupid, been living on the rock, man, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Tell them where you from. Tell them what it is you do, man.
I'm the Drop, Ray. You know, a lot of people know me as, Ray from way back. Yeah. Drop from way back. But I'm a producer, engineer, songwriter. I'm just music. I just do whatever type of music. It don't matter, music.
Now, people watching this, they may know you currently right now as you're wearing the shirt. Melvin Noble, MO3, as the world knows, is of course was slain in Dallas back in 2020. Now his trial is about to come up. Definitely rest in peace to MO3. Your name was going around the blog circles as far as I believe there was a lawsuit that was going on,
right? In
which, of course, we're gonna get to that, but we want to kind of take a slow burn as far as the history.
Okay.
Before we get to your history of MO3, just give us a quick Dallas history yourself as far as people you worked with, man. Some of the things that people may know that you've done.
Okay. First, let me say, coming off of that, let me say rest in peace to MO3.
Definitely.
The young God. Man, I've been doing music since I was like 14. I got my first record deal when I was 16. 16, 17, got screwed over.
Hold on, wait. What does a record deal look like to a 16-year-old? Like, what they offer you, candy or something? Or?
Man, you know what I'm saying? So what was crazy, it was my brother was the artist, and I did all the tracks. I did all the beats. I recorded, mixed it, the whole nine. And he actually is the one that signed the deal. And it sold over 400,000 copies though, across seas.
Damn near gold.
Yeah, damn near gold. It was my first ever project. Tommy Quan, I'll put that name out there. Okay. Tommy Quan is who got us, and being straight up,
Yeah, how did you get messed over? How did you get effed over in the deal?
So what ended up happening, my brother, he signed some, he was not too older than me. We both were young, and, they was just being too, very, friendly. They was being real friendly to him. And I was noticing that, and I told my bro, I was like, bro, don't sign nothing if I ain't there, bro. They up to something, I just feel it. And they got in his head, and at some point, they signed the contract. I went around and never saw them again.
Ray, I know you from way back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I took a real liking to you because, I used to pull up on your studio.
Yes, sir.
You see me from back in the day. And, a lot of people didn't know, you presented yourself as something, but really there's a real backstory to you.
Yes, sir, man.
You were involved in the streets very heavy as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And now you were turn your life around and became Muslim.
Yes, sir. Right.
So explain what happened to you in the streets.
Well, that's a deep one. So, I came, I'm from Oak Cliff. Right. I think I was about right after the music thing with the first deal. About 18 years old, my dad gave me that talk. It's time for you to be a man, be out, get on your own, start preparing myself, which was one of the best talks my daddy could have ever gave me, and I had a job. I was working at Tom Thumb, my first job and really only job that actually for working for someone. Right. And man, I was at work and I was just always contemplating on what my dad was telling me, about it's time to go, it's time to get it. And he was saying, I can only take you so far, but you got to be introduced to God. And the only way you're going to be introduced to God is by getting out there on your own. That's what my daddy told me. And so when it was time to go, he didn't put me out, but it just came to that time. And I left, I had just got a big promotion at Tom Thumb, which sound little, but no, it was nice. I started out as package clerk. I started early. I was like 15 years old. Back then you can start a little early.
Yeah, like
and they
14
wouldn't trip.
there.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I started early and I was moving up the company fast. Because they saw my ambition. I was very good. I started out package clerking. Then started out doing checking, scanning groceries. And then they moved me to the grocery area. And one day I had been seeing how the store was being ran. We had a grocery director, assistant store director, then then the actual store director, grocery manager, assistant store director, then director. So I peeped that I was doing everything, and I noticed them getting rid of positions, but all those positions I was running anyway with ease. Right. So one day, manager on the aisle, they just gave me like the yearly raise or whatever. And I was talking to him, Mr. Fletcher. If he's still alive, you remember this. If he ever watched this, Mr. Fletcher, we was on the aisle facing grocery, facing stock. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, Mr. Fletcher, I noticed, man, how I'm running the whole store, pretty much with y'all, with the managers. Y'all don't have this person no more. Y'all don't have this person no more. Y'all don't have this person no more. I'm doing all three of the jobs. Man, I got to get a better raise than this. And man, he said, he didn't even argue with me. He didn't say nothing really back. He said, man, how much you think is? I said, I don't know. And he took out his business card and wrote on the back and told me not to show it to nobody. He had gave me like a $12, $15 raise at the gate. And I was like, and then he started telling me that they're gonna send me to school. I've probably been for grocery manager. I would have been the youngest grocery manager in Tom Thumb history. And he was like, they're gonna open up another store. And this is on Hampton, for those that know, Hampton and 12th Street. There was a Tom Thumb, the old Tom Thumb was across the street. They got a new one. So the one that was across the street supposed to be my store. I went home, told my dad about the raise, and he was, proud of me. And I quit after that. I actually went back to work for about that week, and then I quit. And I told my daddy I quit.
Why you quit?
I said, man, that wasn't for me. I got something, it's something I'm supposed to be doing, and that ain't it. And, my dad was like, huh? I'm like, okay, I'm behind you. I just knew it was something bigger than that, and it wasn't the grocery, which was great, but I quit. And they don't know why I quit. I just quit, and that was really why I quit, because I knew it was something bigger for me. But then that's when my street life started. My street life started from right there. At that moment, my dad was telling me it's time to go, and I quit that, and streets. I started, that's all. I done got caught up. I can really talk about it. I got caught up. And people, I said, man, it's kind of funny that my name's out there, like y'all was saying, but ain't nobody came and said, I know they didn't check my record. I know they ain't looked at my name. Y'all got my name. They ain't said nothing. I got caught with a whole brick of cocaine. That's when I quit. But before that, the whole story, man, it was like years, of being in the streets. I started from a 50 rock.
Hold on, you said the Tom Thumb management, you felt there was something bigger for you in the world, and you went into the drug game.
Right.
That means you had aspirations. What was your aspirations at that age? Like,
at
what
that
did you
time,
see?
Music.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was music. But I still, at that time, I had a lot of influences around me. I said like that, good, to me, we were good, and my uncles, I had a lot of, my uncles, my partners, my family, and and some bad influences, but they were still good because we were all locked in. So music was the main thing, though. That's what I was going out there.
When you were in the streets, did you believe in God, or were you into Muslim? Was that
no? I was a Christian.
Okay, you were a Christian.
I was born in a family of Christians. My whole family is like music and gospel music. The Mighty Travelers is like one of our staple groups in our family. Called they're a gospel group, quartet group. Okay. So they just my whole family's been in music, and so gospel and Christianity was definitely the front of my life.
What type of person were you in the streets? Like, if you had to label yourself as?
Man, this right here, I always had to smile. You never see me without not smiling. Right. I was the same person. I wouldn't have. You wouldn't have never known that I was in the streets if we never talked about it. So right. I was the same person. I didn't walk around with old chip on my, I'm a dope dealer and nigga, all this shit. Fuck all that. Excuse my language, but yeah. I didn't have, that wasn't my persona.
Would you say you were dangerous?
Yeah. But I was good. I was cool though. So I was dangerous if you bothered me.
So you hurt somebody with a smile on your face?
Yeah, that's kind of funny you said that.
Crazy. You like a joker.
Man.
That's horrible.
I got my partner in the streets name was Ace. And I hope he ain't mad at me. I started to call because I knew this was going to come up. But he always used to say that. He said, I sit there and watch Ray. Man, something happened. He got a smile on his face the whole time, but everybody else not knowing what's finna happen. Bro. He knew it's something, man, y'all messed up.
Bro, that I would be scared to death if I stole from you when you came in smiling after I got caught. You just smiling at me. Oh my God.
Let me say this, man. I get an opportunity to apologize to a lot of, even though it was someone may have done something to me, but I get an opportunity to apologize. Any lives I hurt, this is my apology I'm putting on record.
Thank you for doing that, man. That's we're not here to glorify that.
Yes, sir. That's right.
What was the most lucrative month you had? I'm just curious. Like,
man, I don't know if that's safe.
So yeah, the IRS, how much you make?
Right, it's no there's no time limit on that. Let's
go back and check the books. Let's go back and check the books.
I would say it was. I was definitely up in the quarter. I say the lowest. I just say the lowest was about a quarter. The lowest. Yeah.
Drake said, what did he say, 250 a week? He said something in the rhyme. Well, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Yes, sir, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I knew that about you without you telling me that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just knew that. That's crazy.
Man, that's crazy, man. Man, that's yeah, it's funny you asked me that though, man. I knew maybe we would talk about that, and I kind of was. Really was in my head and my heart was kind of nervous about talking about it, but I mean that's my past. I never went back, never went backwards, never. I ended up getting. I got to talk about that. If y'all want to talk about when I got busted, but I started out in North Dallas Projects. Went from Oak Cliff, where I was born and raised, went to Roosevelt, went to Holmes, went to Roger Q. Mills. But when it was time for the streets, we was in the streets coming up, of course, my friends. Y'all, man, I grew up on the street, man. Y'all remember the Realist? That Tupac, he did a lot of Tupac's vocals on his last project.
Oh, I didn't know.
Before, and the Realist came. He was on Death Row.
Yeah. Okay.
The Realist, he was riding around in Pac's drop top, 6'4" or 6'4", whatever it was, 6'4", 6'7", Impala, and but he grew up on the same street as me, right across the street. It was one of my good friends. Then basically my best friend. My best friend stayed down the street, but he grew up on the street with me. He had a football player that grew up on the street that was known. Man, so our street was really, we had a popular street, man. It was, just coming up because there was a lot of successful people, even though it was hood, because I was there when Oak Cliff was okay, and then I was there and it went down when the Jamaicans came in.
Yeah, when the Jamaicans. Can you speak a little bit on when the Jamaicans came to the city?
Say, man, so I was still young, but we were out there. Crack came in, you know. So my street was Galloway. It ran all the way to Ewan, and it ran to Dentley. Ewan, from Galloway, Ewan Estates is right here on the corner, basically. You take Galloway up. So then the Jamaicans, they got Ewan Estates locked down. Then you got Dentley, and down Dentley to Morrell, the Jamaicans got this whole area locked down. Bro, they had the stores on lock. You couldn't, it really was kind of like, man, you go out there and you hear somebody speaking this different tongue, it kind of just, you ain't doing nothing, but it kind of put some fear in you just hearing these cats talk like that. And I mean, they were deep. And man, you would hear gunshots all the time, people getting murdered. They was murdering people.
Yeah, the Jamaicans were very dangerous.
They were ruthless,
right.
Man. And they was murdering people like for pennies. Like one dude, you would just hear the stories, man. That one dude in those Morrell area, pretty much he was like a few dollars short on the pack, and they murdered him and they put him right there at the corner, Morrell and Dentley.
Did you ever have to run into one of them? Did you ever get into one?
We moved. So my mom moved in Fun Ridge. I know y'all know about, if y'all know what Fun Ridge is at, and that's going, what is that, further south, Oak Cliff going towards Redbird. So when we moved there, the Jamaicans had the whole apartment complex. And my mom, everybody was really in fear, man. I was young at that time. I remember my mom, we go inside the apartments, you had to get out the car, man, you was running face to face with them all the time. And they always had the look of death on their face. It's like they always, and then we heard the apartment next to us, they found a man dead, butt naked in the bathtub, like stripped, and his penis in his mouth. I mean, it was right next door. Right. Yeah. It's like, it was rough coming up.
I think it hit a head when I think some kids got killed out in the South by the Jamaicans, put in the bath, same way. And that's when it's like, I think a lot of young black dudes said we had enough.
Right.
And yeah, we about to try to have a little war here.
So, let me tell you how that happened though. So, I started getting older, the Jamaicans were still in power. Oak Cliff, you young, just like these youngsters today. We saying that, man, this is some new stuff, man. We were young and getting into it. We just didn't have as many guns. The guns is what kept us from not being able to challenge the Jamaicans, because they had Uzis. Yeah. They the one came with the semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons. So dudes were still carrying, 38s, revolvers, Somebody might have you just didn't have it, So that's how once the guys started having the same type of ammunition and artillery, that's when they started going back and forth with the Jamaicans, and finally ran the Jamaicans, and the FBI was, on it. CIA was out constantly to kick doors. So all that was happening all at the same time. It was like a...
Do you think they should do a documentary on that time? Because we see all these documentaries and we never see like Netflix or these other companies coming in to speak about that situation, which was really a crazy situation.
Yeah, I definitely think they should.
Man, no, definitely. You'll be on it. You'll be on it.
Oh, cool. I already...
You'll be on it. But you about to mention like what got you out of that game to transition to, kind of where you are now.
So when I first started, I said, it was when I was young, I noticed some things about, you try to analyze yourself as a young person. And I started to notice some things when I was young that I could see. I had sight, just saying I could see a little further. I knew some things just being straight up that could happen, and I could see clear. And I said, man, when I get busted with the whole one, I'm done. I knew it was gonna happen. And it happened 10 years later, you know?
It's a long run.
But yeah, no scratches, no, you know, I got a couple people tried to kill me and situations got a little ugly.
People close to you or people that didn't know you really?
No, they were just some rivals, man. I hope there's some brothers, a couple of brothers that they like J Juice. Me and J Juice was, you know, solid, man. We ran together, so he
shout out J Juice.
You know, shout out to J Juice, man. but we had a lot. We were doing a lot in the streets, and a situation happened one night, and man. It was more on me, you know. I didn't follow my instinct, and my instincts got me in the jam where I had to fight for my life because I couldn't get to my gun. The girl I was dating, I thought she set me up, but my gun was under her. I didn't trust nobody, so and it wasn't a spot. It was in some little apartments called Park Valley High, and. A situation jumped off and I had to fight for my life. My gun was under her pillow because I would wait till a female would go to sleep and I would put my gun under her pillow thinking because if you try to set me up, you're going to try to slide up under my pillow first. You know, you ain't going to think to look under your pillow. So my gun was under her pillow. But when this thing jumped off, she was screaming and it was like, you know, standing up on top of the pillow screaming, you know, and I'm fighting for my life. 3 dudes came in and their guns wouldn't go off. Bro, this is the craziest situation. All I remember hearing, the only name came out was, shoot that nigga Junior. And he was like, I can't, my gun won't go off. He like, my shit jammed. And the other dude said, mine too. Both their guns jammed, and all I'm doing, whoever I got t-shirt is I was slugging the shit out of him. Excuse my language, I don't know if I can even cuss.
No, go ahead. Hey.
Okay, yes, sir. And I don't even like cussing, but it just brought me back. Man, I ended up having to put myself in the corner. What I thought I was hitting the corner, and it ended up being the bathroom door. So when I hit the bathroom door, it flew open with him still on me. And I'm steady hitting him. And they, I don't know what they were doing out there, but they couldn't get, when they was hitting me, I got right here on the side of my head, this big ass gash where somebody was hitting me with a gun. Yeah. And I had staples over here, staples up here. You can't see the one over my eye. But I had staples here. But man, they wanted to kill me. But God didn't let them, you know.
Yeah, God was in the room with you that day.
Yes, sir.
What were they trying to get? Or they just was looking for you?
They wanted me because I was in the way. You know, I had it on lock. Yeah. Let's put it like that.
Whenever you watch that movie like, what's that, Paid in Full, and you see that scene where he gets shot in the head and died, when you watch stuff like that, does it trigger you at all?
It's crazy. A lot of movies, I guess what would happen, I would see something like that and I try to put it in the back of my head because of what you just said. Yeah. When I watch gangster films, I try not to, because I know me. Yeah. I have to put it in the back of my head. When that happened, I didn't rest for a while until I found, let me say this, man, and it hurt me. I learned a lesson in that. You know, God saved me, but I had long hair at the time. I cut my hair off. When I finally got back out, moving around, I looked for them every day, you know. And every time I came close to finding them, something would happen out of my hands. They would end up getting killed. So I went back over to the apartments, and nobody would believe me that these dudes is who did that. And I'm like, bro, they had on masks, but I saw their face. So I'm telling them all 3, and I said the dude named Trigger, dude named Junior that I don't know, and it's somebody, I ain't know the other cat name, but that was the other name, Junior, and I knew it was Trigger, but they all had on masks, but I can see them clearly, like I'm seeing y'all.
Yeah.
And I remember the dude that knocked on
they
the
had
door.
on the stockings.
They had on masks. They had on like ski masks.
Okay,
And so I gave. I never called like cluckers, dope fiends, and shit. You know, I didn't use that language in the streets. I had a lot of respect for whoever. You know, if you was out here doing that. Only thing I didn't have respect for was a woman being pregnant out there. I would actually, and I would. That's something else. But I would get them off the street, man. I would take them to a drug. The drug dealer is taking them to the drug dependency program, you know, to get them out the street. You know, that was me. But to go backwards, bro, I paid what you would call a drug user, gave him some money. I said, go up there and score. I said, go in their bathroom, tell them you got to use the restroom. Go in their bathroom, you're going to see a bloody t-shirt in their trash can. And that was facts. Jay Juice can bear witness to this. And goddamn, he said he went in there and he couldn't believe he saw exactly what it was. He took a piece of the t-shirt and brought it back with him. I said, hey man, I just knew it. I knew it. I saw it. I know who it is. So y'all won't miss me with all that. You know that.
You know, it's interesting. You know, we do this thing called Real Life Street Stars, where the story you're telling, you know, you technically out there, you know, in the streets heavy. Were you trying to be a star?
No.
While you was scoring?
No, I wasn't never trying to be a star. I would say it was more survival, and I could stay focused. I was in the music still. The whole time I was in music, you know. And you know, I wasn't the one going out buying a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
I wasn't going out buying all these cars. And, you know, my partners talked me into, you know, getting a car with some rim. Put me and my cousin. Remember, me and my cousin had twin cars sitting on center goals.
Yeah.
And that was like the only car I had fixed up. I was in a Ford Explorer Sport, moving around. You know, I was never big, so a lot of people see me in the studio and I'm down dressed. I'm more comfortable like that every day. You know, that's just me. You know, I can have whatever in my pocket and I dress down. I'm not the one that dressed up.
Did you believe in banks, keeping your money in the bank, or you kept it on?
No, I got a bank story though. So
yeah.
Damn.
Well, go ahead.
So, man, no, my family, we had a family and of brothers. And we all were bosses, our own bosses. We didn't really have nobody like working for us. We didn't play that game. If you worked for us, it was very short. It was just to get you in and get you going and you get your own shit together, you know. But we would keep our money stashed, you know. One time I was with this girl I was with for a little while, and I went to the bank with her, you know, and I asked the teller lady. She went in to talk about a loan. I had, you know, I paid for her schooling to go to aviation school, and you know all this shit, you know, trying, you know, do somebody have some, you know, to fall back on, you know, some, you know, and she had something to fall back on. She, you know, she completed school and all that, but at the bank, you know, she was sitting there and I asked the lady, I say, hey, can I bring, is it against the law to bring warrants, you know, to the bank? She like, no, you can bring as many warrants as you want. I'm like, I said, you sure? He said, yeah, warrants is not, they can't, you know, nothing, you know, against warrants.
Yeah, warrants is
track
warrants.
Warrants. So I said, okay, cool. I used to save my warrants. My warrants was like my income tax check every year.
Damn.
You know, if I wanted to do something, I would take all my warrants and I saved them. I used to have them in a dresser drawer. It was nice dresser drawer, so they were real deep and far back. And I just had warrants stacked up neat, all the way top, bottom, and then the bottom drawer is deeper. That mother would be stacked like 2 or 3 times. You know, and I would have all these warrants. And so she said, it was cool. Man, I brought a whole trash bag full of ones. And I walked into the bank with my girl because I was gonna put in her account. So, she went to her, she was there that day. So we went on over to her desk, finally they called us over. I said, I brought them ones, and I opened the bag up and I dumped them out, started putting, she's like, no, she started panicking. She's like, no, I didn't know he was gonna bring this many. And so she called her manager. I said, well, you said it didn't matter how many. So, but they brought the machines out. I forgot how much it was, man, but it was, and she asked I had to fill out something. It was like, my grandma gave me, to save all these ones, and they put it in the bank.
Yeah, I think she was just upset about the amount of ones you made her count. Like,
right. But they brought out the money machines. It was still a lot of work, though. They brought out 2 money machines and counted all those ones, and shoot, they put them in.
Well, damn. Now, shout out to you for putting old girl through school, man. Hopefully she out there doing great with it now today, man. That's what we need more of. That's what we need more of.
I was young too, man.
Yeah, just to have that on your mindset is crazy. So to get out the game, they finally got you, 10-year run. You get got. You got out and you never looked back?
Never. So I would have been wrong. I would have been disrespectful to what God saved me from. I was facing 25 to life. For those wanting to look at my record, go pull me up, this trial people, they pulled my record up, so they knew but I was facing 25 to life. And I never snitched, never told on nobody. My name's still good. My family, it's a tat we got. My family still good. My people, all of them are pretty much out or, out of the game, but we all good. But I was facing 25 to life, and I knew at one point I was gonna leave the United States. The people I was dealing with, some essays, that was real cool. They had a connect where I could get another name and go as his Raymond and be a black Hispanic.
Raymond.
I was gonna go from Ray to Raymond, and move. I was gonna go to Belize, and at that time, Belize was
no extradition.
I didn't even know how. Yeah, right. And I didn't even know nothing about Belize. One day I woke up saying Belize, and I asked one of the guys that I used to sell to about Belize. I said, "Man, what's up with Belize?" He said, "Oh man, it's beautiful over there. I've been over there." And I'm like, "Man." It just came out of me one day, which was crazy. I ain't know about no damn Belize. We in the streets, you don't really go nowhere. I went to Vegas one time. That shit was dope as hell. Crazy story. Everything's been story, man.
I love to hear Kingpin stories in Vegas. Those are the best stories.
That was a crazy story. It was the trip on the way.
How many girls were involved in that story?
Actually, it was only 3.
Okay, only 3.
And it was my main. It was my main girl, but she got left. She got left in Dallas, tripping. And her friend and her friend. And one of my partners, Black, y'all know Black with the clothing store.
Black, shout out Black.
Yeah, shout out to Black. Urban Styles.
Yes, sir.
It was him, and I can't ever think of the other brother's name. Cool brother, and his cousin was one of the girls. But I'm gonna to go back to that, man.
We'll go back to that. Yeah, we'll hear good Vegas stuff.
Because I don't want to lose my thought where we were.
But Belize didn't. You never been to
so I was gonna change my name and disappear. And I told my dad about it. I would always tell my dad everything. I wouldn't tell my mom. My mom is, very wise too. My dad is wise. My mom is wise, and my mom's a scientist. My dad's an engineer. So I come from a family of thinkers.
Yeah, it makes you a chemist.
Right. Yeah, and I actually was a chemist.
Yeah,
I actually is somebody that started a certain way of pushing that no one was doing at the time, and that actually. A lot of people don't even know this. I'm that same guy. Yeah. For the record, I'm Ray from the streets in North Dallas, Forest Lane.
If you know, you
Skillman, know. Abrams, the Chancellors.
Come on.
All that. The North Dallas projects where I started on Hall Street.
Yeah.
But
you know.
But that was lot of people never knew that Ray and Drop that's in the studio is the same. They never could connect. I used to be in the studio with cats that was coming out the streets, and a lot of them didn't know. They never knew. Only one, because we were real close, but I don't want to say his name because he may still be out there moving around, so I won't say his name, but.
That's good. But, that's good. You could have went by Raymond in the studio. I don't know. They would have known. So wait a minute. Hold on. You said you had a method of cooking that no one knew. Did you show anybody? How many people did you? Because sometimes you show the person, then they go off and show 20 other people. And now it's kind of like it's not your flavor no more.
Actually, I never showed nobody. Man, sorry for cutting you off. I was just rolling through my head. I told some people. But people don't be believing me, man. Right. They don't believe me. He think, this dude a nerd, how to play he didn't hear it on these boards, really. I'm listening to somebody, they talking, and I just threw it out there like, hey man, increase your pockets. Straight. And my name is kind of twisted within the two, Drop came from the streets and the music.
Yeah, straight drop.
Right. That's what it was at first, and then it just stuck. Everybody was calling me Drop anyway, or Ray Ray. Yeah. But that was, it was a technique that I came across just trying to understand, having a scientific mind like my mom. It's like this didn't sound right. Dude, who showed me how and how everybody else is doing? I said this ain't right. No. Yeah. And I found the method, and it was like. Man,
come on, hey!
Always the same.
Work, don't stop.
Right.
All right, man, we could go down. We're gonna go back to the Vegas story.
Yes, sir.
Right, I feel like we bring them all through. All right, so let's go and start the process as far as the man, the myth, the legend. Melvin Noble, MO3. He was a force to be reckoned with in this city. As far as Dallas had errors, and we could speak on it, but we could go back to Rally Boys. Shout out Cottonmouth and everybody. Then of course,
shout out to Cotton.
You have your Pookie and Lucci era, which was kind of going where that No Limit era was coming out of, and you kind of seen that with him and Kevin A. Kevin A.
Oh wow, man! I was in the music heavy then at the time.
Yeah, so how even for him to get his knowledge from the East West Coast and then bring it back to Dallas, that was a movement. And then of course we had our. Everybody, we had the boogie era.
I didn't like the boogie era.
Yeah,
I just did, even though I made beats that would cater to that, but it was something about the dancing. It
was very gimmicky.
Yeah.
To where almost it's like you could buy it at Walmart. Like you could package up a boogie dance
and
sell it at Walmart down aisle 7.
Now I respected what they guys was doing, but I didn't like it.
It's hard especially when you're a creator. Like, okay, I gotta stay in this lane.
I was coming out the streets. That's just what we do in the streets, You won't be in no spot boogieing, just straight up. You get,
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course after that dies out, we have a little drought, and then you have, I don't like to call it it wasn't trap music, it wasn't drill, but it was, I guess you could say it was a trap era. What 3 of them came in and did. What was your first introduction to 3?
Well, I can't go. We can't really say. We named Mr. Pookie and Lucci. We got to name Pookie Leroy.
Shout out to Pookie Leroy. Yes.
Yeah, let's start there.
Shout out to Pookie Leroy.
Yeah. But Pookie Leroy had a crazy movement.
Right.
Yes.
It was a ridiculous movement.
He was Mr. 106 in Park for us in Dallas.
Right.
He actually, Pookie Leroy, we're going to credit him right now. He actually jumped this shit off.
Right.
He really did.
Come on, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
When it comes to marketing, people love Jeff Adair and he started the look of making your videos look better.
Shout out to Money Mike as well.
Yeah, right. Well, let me bag
Money
up.
Mob, yeah.
Let me bag up. I'm going to stay at Pookie Leroy before we go to Money Mike. It got to be out of respect because Money Mike went around when the wheels started turning. All it was me, Pookie Leroy, PG, which is Pearly Gates, one of my people named Brian, that he fronted some money up. That's all, you know. And we's who got Puka Leroy hot before Mike came.
Okay.
Mike saw the vision finally,
because
his brother was already rapping. He should have been right there from the beginning, but that ain't my business, But it was me, Puka Leroy, PG, Brian, CB, when another brother, CB, I would talk to. Man, we gotta talk about this story because it was y'all may not remember Souls of Sin. I don't know if any of y'all remember a group called Souls of Sin, and they were doing some shit. They had a nice name out there. They was moving.
Yeah.
Well,
Puka Leroy had a group. I think it was a YTB.
Yeah, that's
Lean and all them.
Yeah, Young Lean.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah.
And Puka Leroy, of course, and then a bunch of other brothers that was around the clique, but they were the main three. Right. Yeah, but we started out together, man, and we didn't have a Money Mike. We didn't have that. Honestly, we were moving strong. We got on, his name got in the streets with us before him. So it was the work ethic that he had and what we had that made it happen. Yeah.
What was your role in that, if you don't mind me?
Shoot, everything I do, beats, engineering, producing. My motto is I don't care who you is. And I always say this, and I don't know how people take this. It can be Michael Jackson, rest in peace, Mike, but it can be whoever. My job, if you come in front of me with my gifts and my talents, I'm here to make you 5 to 10 times better. And if I can't do that, I ain't here to waste nobody's time. I ain't here to take nobody's money. Just know what I have instilled in myself that I can do.
And all great engineers, when you come in with just raw talent, it is your job to mix and to get it, the beat and it's your job to create something out of what a person comes in and just like.
Well, that's another hat. So the engineering is one hat that you have to have, but the engineer's job is only to press play and record. Man, that's the engineer's job. A producer's job is to take that beat and this artist and put them together and bring out the best out of both. That's what a producer is, not the person that's just making the beat. Yeah. That's why I started out saying I've been doing beats my whole life. I wasn't no producer when I first started. I didn't understand that. A brother used to tell me, bro, you ain't no producer. And I was doing beats. I was cold. But he knew I was cold as hell. He's like one of the coldest he had ever seen. But he broke that down to me, kept saying it. And I'm like, I used to be mad. Calling me, I ain't no producer. And I was young. But then once I understood, I met a brother named Butch Bunner. And that's who put me in the seat of my first session, engineering. And when I got in the seat of engineering, I knew that it was my brother, I'm recording, so it was comfortable for me to tell him this. It was comfortable for me to say, no, don't do it like that, say it like this. It was comfortable for me to do all these things and then being left with everything, and say, put all that together. I come from days of it was still analog. Yeah. We had, we were on ADATs. Yeah, we was on ADAT machines, and so, but just to go there though, it was more of the production end that I'm more in love with the production of the music and not just making a beat. Artists just let him do what the hell he want to do.
Yeah, that was
if you coming to me.
That was Puff Daddy's thing. People didn't understand what a producer was back when Puff Daddy was labeling himself producer.
Right.
And he had to show them like, no,
right,
I'm putting this thing together.
Man, come on, man. That's called, in legal terms, because I know we're gonna get to that, that's called sound recording. So you can't have one without the other. You bring both together, now you got a sound recording. Somebody had to do it. And so, and if you're doing it at the level I was doing it on, then hey man, back to the question.
So as far as so as far as coming up with Puka Leroy and what Jay was doing, because a lot of people don't know that MO3 came under Puka Leroy at that time, as far as bringing even him into the scene. Even speaking on the Puka Leroy movement, and seeing that get to its height, what was your thoughts on that? Because again, 106 in Park, buses, marketing genius going crazy when Mike comes in, tours.
Right. When Puka first came to the studio, I met him. I don't remember how I met Puka Leroy. I want to say a business partner at the time ran into him and told me, call him. And so when I first saw Puka's energy, I knew I could work with him, and he just had this goal that he was so ready, and at that time I had just changed my life. I had just got into the nation. I had quit music for a minute. I needed a break. So I had just got back into the music, and I knew Puka had something, and we started working. We started working every night. I started seeing what he had, and I started helping with his delivery, and he'll bear witness to all this. This is just our recording method. I have a recording method that no one else probably had. I don't know, but I had this method, and we record. We got to be in the studio back to back to back. We can't be on. We in this mug. We got to be in here for 10 hours.
Live in the studio. Yeah.
We're gonna be up in here, and that's Thursday nights. He had his own night, and we'll go at it. And he just got better and better.
That was your mentality as far as making the artist be in the studio?
Yeah, it had to be that.
Yeah.
Because if you serious and you trying to get to this pinnacle, I tell our artists that, man, it ain't, I will say this, Puka Leroy and Mo3, out of our artists, I really just kind of work with on that, really working with them. They knew how to listen. And no disrespect, like I said, brother, listening to me. No, out of respect, we in here working, and they respected my talents. At this time, I was already 15, 20 years in the game because I started so early, so I say about 15 years in the game around that time. So I had been around, I had been recording with, I'd done a lot of work that a lot of people didn't know about, in my early days. Big Pokey, rest in peace.
Oh, rest in peace.
Lil Kiki.
Basically, the people know, the I-45 Dallas Houston connection in 2000 to 2006. That was a Houston run.
Yes.
So if you was a Dallas anything, you had to work with Houston as they were coming up.
You had to, yeah, man. Yeah. And CB kind of got us in these circles, around guys that was already really moving, like Fifth Ward Boys and Lil Kiki, like I said, Big Pokey. Man, I did. So I was doing a lot of work. At that time, I was selling tracks for $1,500, at the lowest, That started at $1,500.
Back then.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, man.
That let you know.
Yeah, so, and that's why I quit. Cause the game, when I went to jail, had to do some small time, which is 1 day in jail is too much. I ain't bragging on it. Make that clear. 1 day in jail is too much, So, but it was compared to what I was facing is what I'm saying. Facing 25 to life, I only did 180 days. Dallas County, name clear, good, ain't gave nobody up, ain't went nowhere, disappeared, all that.
Shout out to your lawyer, whoever your attorney was. Salute, hats off.
I can give you to him right now. God.
For real.
No, for real. My attorney didn't know what was happening. Honestly, that day it happened, I didn't know it was about to happen. So it was like a day. Man, I gotta say.
Go take us through that,
man. So I was on bond, and when I first got busted, I had this high paid attorney, and what's this guy's name? Good attorney though. So he got me. We met in the country somewhere in an abandoned looking ass house, and he gave me the address to where to meet him at, so we can talk freely.
I'm gonna say, yeah. What y'all worried about? This is
shit, feds.
Oh shit!
I mean, I got caught with a whole brick, and he looking at.
They want to know. They want to know some names.
The detective that was part of the case. You know, he was. You know, dude snitched on me. You know, I know the dude. I don't know if I can say somebody's name on. You know,
I mean, go ahead. It's your story. It's your story to tell.
Yeah, but
you don't have to say it.
Do we know him?
I'm pretty sure because he might still be out here.
Just give the initials. We'll go with that.
Well, no, I'll just give a nickname. Cause I'm gonna say this because his cousin reached out to me a little while back in the last 4 years, and he said he never knew that I was like the Drop. Ray and Drop was, well, he knew Drop. He didn't know Ray. See, but he knew his uncle. His uncle, he said his uncle told on the whole family. So he never knew he had got me until I talked to him that day. And he was like, he was broke-hearted. Really, he was messed up because he knew the dude I was. Yeah. I said, yeah, that's what, and I kind of was hesitant to talk to him because I didn't know where this was coming from. You know, my cousin gave him my number. He contacted me. But the dude named Smooth. And shoot, he said he was still out here working. You know, and that was like 10 years ago. I done did my 10 years probation, no scratch, you know, all praise be to God. But he said this dude was still out here like 13 years later. Like, he's still out here, you know. I'm like, wow. You know, I know, I'm saying this to him, if he ever see this, I know that's a hard life, man. You chose the wrong decision.
Yeah,
get yourself together, man.
Nah, it sounds like a lot of people are gonna watch this and be like, wait a minute.
Right.
hold on. Damn. Okay, but yeah, so as you were saying, as far as I forgot where we were at.
We was back into the studio. I just veered off because of Puka Leroy and you know, but we was on Puka Leroy and how did I meet, you know, how we in the studio, and I guess how did I meet MO3, you know?
Correct.
So when I this is crazy. Man, so when I met MO3, he was a little young cat, you know, sitting on the floor. Like, I don't know if they can see this chair.
Yeah, literally sitting on the floor.
Yeah, literally. So this chair, if they can see it, he had his back against the wall of the, you've been in my studio, so as soon as you come into the actual control room, that wall right there before the seating area, MO3 was at the door at that wall with his back against it, sitting on the floor. And I'm just doing my thing, you know, getting ready, whatever. Someone just told me to ask this youngster, what are you doing? So I turned, man, what you doing, youngster? What you doing, bro? What you do, bro? What's going on with you? And he like, shit, you know, holding that thing. And I'm like, okay. You know, I'm playing, you know, absent, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. I say, okay. Holding what you mean? You hold that thing, you know, shit, you know, holding that thing. And I said, for who? For the mob. I said, man, I shout out, they were in the hallway. I said, man, y'all got this little youngster risking his life for y'all? And they kind of laughed and said, ha, ha, ha. Oh, shit, that's what he want to do. But I was kind of serious at the same time because he was a youngster, you know. Out of everybody in here, I think MO3 would probably been the youngest in the, so I'm like, yeah, you risking your life, you know, for a label, you know, shit. You know, I'm in the nation at this time, full-fledged, you know, lieutenant, security, you know, out trying to save our people. This is every day, you know.
I mean, the nation got that type of security too. Farrakhan might move with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm in that. That's what I'm in at this time. I mean, I'm willing to take a bullet for Minister Farrakhan right now. Shit, just being straight up, you know, because I know what he even put and gave us, and just being straight. So in this time, we moved around like that, you know. In my mind, my mentality in the street, when I came into this was realer than the streets, you know. And a lot of brothers didn't understand when I said that, you know, and how, man, and it was the best time I ever had. Let me say that in my life was in the Nation of Islam. You know, we got to talk about that too, man, because Man, but so back to MO3, that's why I asked him like that, and he was like, I'm holding his pistol, you know, for the mob. So I'm like, well, shoot, man, you know, man, okay, all right, what you go by? You know, he called, that's 3, that's 3, he had some little partners with him, you know. I'm like, all right, cool. That was our first introduction, to
not as him as a rapper.
Not him as a rapper.
Wow.
No. He wasn't a rapper at that moment. He may have been rapping, but at that moment in time, he was on protecting the mob. He wasn't in the studio to record.
Would that been your first time meeting him? You see him a few other times after that, or how often is he around? And when does it become like, hey, I do this too?
Well, so again, we in the studio 10 hours Thursday nights and whatever night. Thursday nights is his main night though. So Thursday nights, everybody gonna be here. So Mo3 is here too. So he just here in the building every time. He just we all sociable, social now. We just social with each other. Ain't nothing. Everybody just doing their things. About 15 brothers, cats all in the studio, sometimes more. It's the mob, and 3. So one night we had Puka Leroy in the YTB, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
They were all in the whole clique. They was getting on some songs, and they needed somebody to sing a hook. And Mo3 partners, the only ones there, none of these Negroes in the studio knew that he could sing, except Mo3 partners. So he kept that tucked. This whole time you running around with them, they don't know your talent, except his partners that I don't want to say no wrong names, but I want to say I think K Rilla was one of them, and another brother. But anyway, they were all that was his guys, Mo3 partners. Money Mob was he doing security for. So one of his partners say, "Come on, bro, go on, show him what you got, bro. Go on, show him you can sing." He like, "Nah, fool, nah." He like, "Nah." So I turned around, I heard that. I was like, "Man, come on, what you got, bro? You can sing?" He like, I said, "Man, go on, jump up in there and show him." He like, "Nah, man, nah." So I kept doing what I was doing, getting the song ready. I think we had just the track up at the time. And I was probably just miking stuff up, getting levels, just making sure all my shit was straight. So Mo3 just say, "Fuck it. Hey, put me on the mic drop." And he got up, and went to the booth. And I walked on up in there in the booth with him, set him up. And man, I ran the track. He just ran it from the top to the bottom of the song, freestyle, verses, hook, verse, hook. Back then they were still doing 3 verses.
Yeah.
He ran 3 verses, and had the hook and everything, And the whole studio just went crazy. The whole studio like, God, man, everybody went wild. And that's when, okay, youngster got some talent. I can see it was raw, it was rough, but he had some talent. I saw it was raw talent.
Right. And then it comes separation, right? Puka Leroy and Mo3 have a falling out.
Man, I know I said some of this stuff is gonna be controversial regardless of, what I say. It's people gonna say, yay, and it's people gonna say, boo, and some people gonna be in the middle, he lying, all this old mess.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of y'all.
Yeah, you was there.
I was there. So it's like, so at some point, they had a falling away from each other. And at this time, let me back up. Can I back up for a second?
Go ahead.
Because this is important. Mo3 came to me about recording. And this is really important. he came to me by himself.
Separate of Puka.
Separate from Puka.
To talk to you.
To talk to me. I don't know if he got there early one day or this was later on at night. I don't remember exact. I think it was a different day altogether. He came by the studio. He just wanted to talk to me. And he talked to me about what he felt that he could do. He said, man, I know I can make it. I know what I got to take. And I'm like, I'm feeling I'm feeling his passion. It wasn't a lot of energy, like I was explaining with Puka Leroy had that GOAT energy and ready to get out here and take over, the streets. And you saw that. Mo3 came with his passion, and I said, well, man, you stick with me, I'll get you there. And that was my word. I said, we had a few other talks about, he didn't have no money. At that time, he was sleeping in the car, sleeping on people's couches, sleeping wherever he could. But he was at the studio. I told him we're going to do this. And he was at the studio every day that I needed him at the studio. We started working. And we made a bond, a handshake agreement, no paper involved. I felt his passion. He shared a lot. He confided in me a lot of personal stuff that he may not even share it on interviews. I don't know. But, and we'll talk about this, man. He had these dreams.
Yeah, let me ask you, what was his driving force before we get back to the dreams? What was his driving force back then? Was it to take care of his family?
No.
Was it just to get to the money? Was it to show people that he had what he could do?
Well, I'm going to go back. That's exactly what I was going to say, though. It was the dream that he had been having. So he knew he had talent. He knew he can make it, but he knew he was going to die. He knew it. This ain't how you will hear people saying how he talked himself deaf. He doing all this stuff in deaf. No, bro, he had these dreams that he shared with me early on, way before we worked 6 years straight, down there every day. 6 years straight, every album, so y'all count all the songs he ever done. We did every last one of them songs, but he would tell me about these dreams that hunted him. He would wake up out, his mom, I know his mom, Corey, about what I'm saying. He would wake out his sleep and sweat. He would see himself getting killed and his own partners. He kept seeing the same dream. He said he'll wake up and sweating or crying. And he said, man, I just want to get there before that happened. And that's what made me jump in and say, I'm rolling with you. Let's make it happen. And I took him under my wing. I would say, as a youngster and my talent, together, we're going to make history. I just knew we was going to make it because of that passion he had.
Yeah, not to have that type
it became a mission.
Yeah, to have that type of premonition.
Right.
And but we're going to get there, but to hear that of him early on and then to see him on the highway for you.
Well, the day, man, it's crazy. So the day that happened, I got a call. One of Mo3's people called me. He was like, bro, I just got a call, such and such, such and such. I'm like, who told y'all this? And he said, Rain called us. I'm calling you. So, bro, at that moment, I'm thinking, we didn't know he was dead or not. But my partner was saying that they think he dead. Because it's the information they getting from Rain. That's who called them. So they think he dead. He wasn't at the hospital, I don't believe, at that moment. It had just happened. So, and I'm like, no, man, he gonna be straight. I'm thinking he gonna, shh. But it did hit my head that all the shit, everything that we done and talked about, and the things he wanted to do in life, I know for sure he if this is that time, from everything he done shared with me, if this is time that he done, I would say everything that he wanted to do, but that's how it hit me, and I definitely went into prayer I went to prayer. I had my son in the car. I was on the way taking my son, a little bitty baby at the time, to his grandma's out in Duncanville. So I had to go, he's 35, 67. So at that moment, bro, it was like, I was like, damn, I saw the traffic on one, like exiting. A lot of people was exiting, but you couldn't see. They were doing a lot of construction and shit on the freeway. A lot of construction at the time. And I didn't think none of it. I didn't think that was three. I didn't know what happened.
So you're on the highway going.
At some point
of that day.
That day, I guess he had been out there. I don't know how long he was out there. Just don't know.
Yeah, from like 10,
all I
11
know is I
a.m.
saw traffic.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was connected to anything. You just see traffic, cars. But once I find out, start hearing the stories, he was on 35, this to happen, this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, that was the same traffic. That's why all that traffic was out there. He was laying on the freeway at that time. When I passed through there, he was already on the freeway laying there, man. And I said, man, if I'd known that, bruh, if I'd known that shit, I think that shit, that messed me more because I knew I would have stopped. I would have picked 3 up out that freeway from this side. It would have been really a movie. Would put him in the car and we would have went to the hospital if I'd known. It's just like, damn, if I'd known that. Probably could have got him there sooner,
So what I like to do is we're going to go through it as far as going back to, him coming to you saying he wants to create this career. And before we touch on the music, I want to kind of touch on moments in his life that I got to get your take on things that were happening. He creates a song, Hold Your Tongue, that, of course, resonates.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
If you know, that's resonating in North Dallas, is getting Dallas. It has a buzz. And it's like his coming of age kind of story, when he's speaking about the struggles and he paying homage to Lucci and Don Chief and doing his thing. For you, did you know, like, all right, because mind you, you already recorded him singing. Right. Are you happy to see, like, wow, look at the world is getting to see his talent?
Well, no, let me back up.
Let's go.
We had hundreds of songs before Hold Your Tongue. Yeah. I didn't record Hold Your Tongue because the Falling Out, I think we didn't go back to that. The Falling Out between,
we got to finish that, yeah.
Yeah, him and Puka, the Falling Out, MO3 respect me. I mean, a lot of people respect me just because of who I was. I'm very respectable. And nobody knew about my street stuff, so it didn't have nothing to do with that. And I kept it real. And but he respected me. He came. So incident happened. Him and Puka Leroy end up at the studio at the same time. MO3 was there doing his first feature ever. It's crazy. He was so happy. He was like $20, $35. It was real low, man. His first feature. And one of his first features. It may have been some before that, $20, but it was like, man, he used to be so excited. So he's there getting his first feature, and Puka Leroy happened to stop by the studio, unannounced. Which we were cool like that. We family. We all family, shit. And so when he stopped by the studio, they saw each other face to face. Puka gave a good gesture. Like, man, I see you young. See, there's a lot of people don't understand. He was already getting known. Puka Leroy words, I see you, young nigga. Shit, I see you doing your thing in the streets. Yeah, you doing you out there. You getting your name out there. He was already getting, good exposure. MO3, hot. Nigga gone on with that old bitch ass shit. He go straight on Puka Leroy on, nigga, I don't mess with you. You been running my name. That's what happened. So, shoot, Puka ain't no punk either, Shit, he gonna, and they kind of start going back and forth, come in between them. And, Puka chunked the bottle. This shit was funny. So, Puka chunked the water bottle, and the water bottle's busted, and he got all MO3 on his face. So MO3 was mad. He was really mad then. So he tried to get at him, and Puka trying to. So his people you know,
the real story.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So his people pushed him out my back door. You know, my back door is right by my main room. And Puka and Mo3 is still in the building, you know, and I think I forgot who had him, but I was right there as well. And he was like, nah, bro, y'all ain't finna do this, not up here. So then, you know, shoot, I went out, I went outside, you know, talked to Puka, and I saw him doing this and hitting numbers. I come back in, Mo3. I said, oh, hell no, y'all not finna do this up here. And I made them, like, my mind was to change locations. That's why I said, first off, y'all need to go and fight this out. Y'all ain't finna go off into no guns, you know? And I'm the one that initiated y'all fight, you know, and get this on, whatever y'all holding this animosity, because I had been hearing the animosity between the two, and it really was nothing, you know? It really stemmed from, you know, it was more family, you know? Puka Leroy, sister is Mo3's father to Trey, you know? So this is they little sister though, you know, it's their little sister. So they, you know, want to protect little sister, you know? So it was more of that, you know, that's what it felt like. So y'all fight, man, get this shit over with. You know, get all that, you know, we men, you know, we got that energy, you know, we ready to get it, you know, let's get that on out so we can keep moving. And they fought.
Yeah, they had the physical altercation.
Yeah, they had a physical altercation, you know, and it went down, you know, told everybody to cut their phones off, told everybody, hey, whatever happens out here, ain't nobody gonna go back and run to the internet, don't do nothing. And Puka Leroy, girl at the time, well, I won't say girl at the time. It was a girl that was around that was, you know, she, you know, come to the studio and everybody pull up. So she around. So she's there too. She happened to be there when he came to the studio with him that day. He pulled up. She happened to be at the location and seeing it. And she supposedly went right back to her job and told everybody what happened. Right. So that caused, you know, that kind of caused some stuff to continue, you know. But you know, they fought and it was a good fight.
Yeah, mind you,
know?
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
Little 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. No, they did rounds. You know,
they
I'm talking about. Bro. Yeah, bro. Like, it was real. You know, I'm out there. Whoever was at the studio with Puka Leroy was there. Somebody pulled up. I'm bad with names, man, faces, but it was his cousin. And maybe somebody else. Maybe I just can't remember who all, but we were all there and, you know, shut your phone down. You know,
did they shake hands after that?
Yeah, after they embraced each other, you know, that's what we did after the rounds was over, embraced each other, man, shit, y'all, we good, you know? Yeah. And that energy is the energy that we need as brothers to still be there, because when you go back and embrace a brother after an altercation, that energy, the energy of killing,
the hatred.
The fight wasn't it's a part of this, but it's that embracing after that kills that energy of I want to continue to do something to you. You know, that clap is what kills all that negative energy, you know.
And that dissipates. We can move on. And mind you, they kept that technically under wraps. They didn't go on no tour of like, oh, this is that.
Right.
Puka, I don't think it has even, like, he spoke on it. You might have, if you heard it, you heard it. He don't go on no campaign about it. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's still family at the end of the day.
Right, still family.
So Mo3, of course, moves on in his career.
Well, it didn't stop right there.
Yeah, we all know it is. We know.
I'm being real.
It took some time.
Nah, man, it was going, them boys he had to fight every brother. He fought every
Damn.
He fought in crazy locations. He fought at the hospital, you know, because Jasmine had got shot at one time. And so he at the hospital and they was blaming it on Mo3. But Mo3, his words was, man, I told Jasmine, don't go out there, that girl crazy. It was some girl that got out of jail that thought him and her still supposed to be together. Yeah. She got out of jail, he with Jasmine at this time, and shoot, Mo3 said it like this, man, don't go out there. She went out there and old girl shot her. So they at the hospital, and he had to see the brothers, you know, or they think he had something to do with it, because they know Mo3 be out there. So that kind of, you know, it's funny situation, but it wasn't good, you know. It was still family, but he had to see the brothers.
Yeah. So there you go.
Right.
And again, like you said, that played out for how it played out.
Yes.
And Mo3 is, I'm assuming, because again, for anyone who know Mo3, he was always for the pistol play. Like he always was the guy. I remember like when he was with Pook, I remember he had an AK or something. Like he had something crazy back then. I'm like, God, what are you doing?
Right.
So you have 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in the music.
Yes.
Are you seeing him slowly take the other foot out the streets and go to the music, or you seen him like?
Well, not just seeing him. This is my talk to him. I told Mo3, and I told any other artist that's trying to make it, and your life is in the streets. I said, bro, you need to get yourself up out the streets and focus more over here. If you don't do that, then the streets gonna take you. The streets are gonna take your life, and you ain't gonna see none of this where you trying to go. So you got to focus more on your music. I ain't telling you to change your life and all that, become this, that, and the other, but you're gonna have to figure out how to get yourself out those streets and more. It can't be 50-50. It's gonna have to be more over here on this music. And he understood that, you know, even though shit, you know, happens, he out there because all his partners are out there, but he understood that.
It's ironic because, you know, Puka has a song, you know, get up out the streets and rap your ass off.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
He's trying to tell you.
Right.
So,
come on.
So leading up to, you know, him, y'all don't record 100 of the songs. I don't know if he's paying for these songs. Is he?
At this time, again, he didn't have any money. Again, he was, man, again, when I first met him, he was hoping, you know, he was working for security for them to get a few dollars, you know. I don't know what their deal was or whatever. I don't know what that was, how he, you know, if they was giving him money or not. But he didn't have. Now, he would try. I will say this. He always would try. He'll throw me 20. The first session we had, he had $20. It was like, it wasn't enough to cover. It wasn't enough to cover an hour. But at least he tried, you know. He had something. He gave what he had, you know. And he's like, nah, man, don't worry about that. You know, we already talked, you know, and I reiterated where I'm at. And we talked about it, you know, through our whole career.
What were you wanting out of that?
First thing was his passion, you know, where he wanted to go, you know, to get him there. Secondly, when we get to the bag, you know, when we get to the deal, take care of me then. Take care of me when we get to the deal. You know, he know everything I put in. You know, he know all I put in. You know, he ain't just no pressing no button. He know, you know, Mo3 knew everything that I put in, you know, and he could have went anywhere, you know. Yeah. Even when he started making like money, getting 10,000, I wouldn't count his pockets. I wouldn't count his pockets and say, hey man, you need to come start taking care of me. No, ideal was when we get to the bag, I'm gonna keep it 100. I ain't gonna keep it half, 80%. No, we get to the bag. But out of his heart, here you go, drop, he'll throw me something every now and then. This happens in the studio with everybody. I won't say names, but everybody saw he would, sometime every now and then, bam. A lot of times he just go. He know where I'm at.
Never no paperwork. It's always a handshake deal with y'all's relationship.
Right.
I believe with Rainwater for them, I believe it was always a handshake deal even with them.
Right. It was a reason for that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a reason. So Mo3's reason, it ain't my reason. You know, I'm always understood paperwork. You know, I got messed over when I was young. So paperwork, I had brothers around me that print out. I had an entertainment lawyer, could have easily, you know, but once you get to moving, I got other little deals that I'm doing over here. So I'm not even I'm keeping my word right here. You know, so I'm not even thinking of putting him under no contract. His main thing, he didn't want to be under contract because so many people had messed him over, you know, prior. Whoever was prior, he said that they had him under contract, and Rain came later. So and something happened with that too. But he said he didn't want to sign no contracts because it's like it was always some BS behind it. He ain't getting, ain't nothing happening, So he gets to just go to working, and I'm the one. I know the streets, far as the avenues you need to take to get yourself on, what to do, what not to do, what city you need to go to first, what this next, what to do next, the whole blueprint.
You weren't trying to manage Mo3, were you? Or did you look at yourself as a manager?
I didn't look at myself as no manager. I just knew everything to do. I've been in music then in my whole life. At 14, 15, I was with a group called Grass House. Shout out to Grass House, Yale Dale. But Grass House, y'all remember these, they were known in the streets back then. But at 15, I was on the road. My daddy, I think I'm at the studio. I'm going down to Grass House. Man, we in Mississippi somewhere. I'm young in the mud. My brother performing, So I kind of knew the how-to in the music industry to get on. And some of them things still apply to this day. You just got to work it a little different. But I knew the blueprint for a long time. And it only expanded the older I got.
Did Mo3 have anybody representing for him, management early on, even before Rain?
No, I was the only brother that he would talk to about, and his partners. It was just him and his partners. I believe Rain may have been locked up at the time.
Yeah, Rain was locked up. But I don't know, there's a lot of people that say they managed Mo3 before Rain. And some people
so that was them old contracts he was talking about. Oh, okay. Whoever they were. I don't say no name, but his words were, it was a bunch of mess, And they weren't doing no recording. They were just kind of just around,
Well, I want to speak on some moments. We just was speaking on the Hold Your Tongue, how that kind of had a build in North Dallas. I don't want to say they had any controversy to it, but they were expecting some people in that video that wasn't in it. And that's when Mo3 started feeling like he had love for North Dallas, but he was feeling like North Dallas wasn't loving him back. What did he talk to you about that? And what was it that had him like that?
When that project, before I did master that project.
Yeah.
So they had recorded it with some brother, I can't think of his name, but they left from over there. At this time, he met Rain on that end. So he came to me, he came back to the studio, talking about he had a manager at this time and what happened with that. He told me exactly what happened with the contract, the first contract. And, it was BS and, all that. And I'm like, hell, let's go. He said, I got this project, but it sound like this. It ain't ready. I know it ain't. I said, well, if you don't got the files, I can't do nothing to it, but I can make it sound better, sonically, but not, overall, because you don't got the files. And some of the songs I may have recorded because he had so many songs. So on that album, I'm pretty sure it was stuff on there I recorded, but I couldn't do nothing with what he had. I mastered it. They put it out. Now the streets, the North Dallas, he never felt as if he was welcome, with open arms. He never have that. He never had that.
Do you understand why that was? Did he ever, did he talk about his upbringing in McKinney and migrating to North Dallas? And did he ever sit down why?
Yeah, so in the beginning, he didn't talk a lot about McKinney. It was all North Dallas, Stony Crook, he talked about that more. He really started talking about McKinney until people started calling him out, and he was talking about it, but he wasn't putting it in his music yet. He just, they moved from McKinney, something happened out there. I think daddy got locked up, moved, mama moved to North Dallas. They were young, and history, started there. That's where it really started at.
All right. The moment he started kind of making his name on the internet, and we're gonna walk all the way through it. There was a time where he was in front of Big T and DJ D Real. To where, sit your ass down. I remember that was a shirt. Sit your ass down that Sean G had.
Man.
And that was like, this is when the internet and Dallas was just the viral shit was going viral. That was like a very viral moment for him. What were your thoughts when you see the young man that you had brought in years earlier in this moment right here?
Well, it didn't surprise me. I will say that it wasn't a surprise, but I'm like, come on, man, y'all ain't got to do the brother like that. y'all ain't have to, y'all ain't have to punk him. He already was scared. It seemed like he was, but it was something that happened prior that they didn't have an agreement on. He has his side of the story. He has his side of the story. Outside looking in, we can't really say nothing.
Yeah,
Them two, we saw it on film. This is what they were saying, and shoot, and it had something to do with the mixtapes.
Yeah, it had something about bootlegging or something of that nature. And again, when you're that young, you're about your money. Everyone's about getting one up in the game. So it's understandable that they had that disagreement. Very soon after that, Mo3 had another run in, I believe, in South Dallas where he was fighting a young man, almost got ran over. That was another viral moment, like only a month or so or a few months after. So now he's kind of making a name for himself, like, who is this dude who's living this life, but also rapping the way he's rapping? And, and it starts building. And then let's just, Street Starz is coming around then, and Mo3, again, we were able to get one of his first interviews on Forest Lane to where, you're just trying to give young men their shine.
Right.
And at that time, we're in North Dallas, so it only makes sense to do it. And then, of course,
But at that time, he had so much hate.
Man.
The hate was surrounded, like flies on trash.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to kind of move out. He kind of was even in North Dallas that much, and was in Oak Cliff, in South Dallas, in other.
He was everywhere.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere. Messed with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. He messed with everybody. He could never. It wasn't no hood that he felt like he couldn't go in. Because he knew somebody. Again, being locked up, he ran to a lot of brothers that respected him, and the circle he was in. The youngsters changed the blood and Crip thing. They was trying to claim down here, and so it started coming back to hood. Your hood, or this person can come over here to this hood. It may be a blood or a Crip at one time, and they all click together. So you'd be Pleasant Grove, South Dallas, Oak Cliff, North Dallas, cats all together, which I looked at it may sound crazy. And I'm in the nation at this time, still I'm looking at everything from that eye, and it looked crazy, but I saw the positive side that we have broke down some doors of being Bloods and Crips and start becoming more unified, crazy unity, but it's
still more tribal.
It's north, south, east, and west.
Yeah. Still.
So
he links up with Roy Lee, and this story doesn't even go anywhere without Roy Lee Pate doing his thing on the comedy and coming in and for you to see them come together, because we hear different stories as far as Roy Lee was with Rain first and then introduced him to Mo3, and then Mo3 just took a liking to him. From your aspect, what was Mo3 and Roy Lee's relationship?
I would say, because I didn't get that either. I did hear that it was Rain that introduced them to him, but they were so cool with each other. You think they've been knowing each other. Right. You even thinking they've been knowing each other forever, and that's kind of how 3 would present it. 3 would present it that, man, it's like family, Shoot, and his family, in South Dallas, Roy Lee's family was they family. That's kind of how 3 always brought forward in his conversations anytime Roy Lee came around. So I never knew who introduced who to what, but man, they was solid. They were like family.
I have to ask a side question on that. Before, we didn't see anything of Cole Gotti until Mo3 passed. Did you meet Cole Gotti in the studio?
Yes. Yeah. 3 would bring Cole Gotti to the studio. Me and Cole Gotti started recording songs. Oh, wow. Cole Gotti always had something. Man, shout out to Cole Gotti. Man, he always had, bro, he always been gifted as well.
Did they do tracks together? Did they have?
Some, but I would say is bro, little bro, big bro, little bro. They had song, but very little, you know, because I want to say Cole Gotti, I can't really say why. I would think they would have more songs during that time. You would think they would have an album together. But I don't think Cole Gotti was as focused as 3 wanted him to be, you know, at the time. And Cole Gotti may have, but he started going. I mean, hey man, he got some songs, man. He always had great songs, you know, but they do got some songs together and they were nice. They had some good shit and they different. That's what's good about them, you know.
Was Cole Gotti harmonizing back then?
Cole Gotti, honestly, when you listen to Cole Gotti to this day, until you can go back and he always rap, sing.
Yeah.
More than 3. Yeah. 3 would rap and sing separately, you know. We understood that, but Cole Gotti would have more of a melody tone with his delivery straight out the gate. He just, on his new record, really rapped. Yeah. You know, this new record called After the Funeral.
Yeah.
So he rapped on that, like really rapped. Most of his other records, he's always had this singing melody. He's always been like that.
So I want you to speak on the first New Dallas movement, where they had a meeting. A lot of guys, I think Puka Leroy was involved in this as well, but they wanted MO3. You have young men like Trap coming up. You have young men like Yella Beezy. You have, and you know, there's a plethora of dudes that's part of this New Dallas movement. I don't think 3 was probably with that. Did you ever talk to you about that as far as him feeling like he ain't really trying to be part of a group of?
Well, it wasn't necessarily. See, I never got it that was the name that they was giving it back then. And it may have been, you know, I wasn't in the streets. My ear wasn't to the streets like that, and the language they all used to be at the studio.
Yeah.
Trap, Smurf, MO3.
They were at your studio?
Yeah, all together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they used to be all together. They were, man, that all the time. They was tough. You know, they was solid. You know, they would show up together, leave together. You know, this was like they had something. You know, this was something growing. I was looking at it. This was something that could have been, man, only one wasn't around was Yella. Yella wasn't coming around. You know, I didn't know why. Yella had been to the studio maybe for a feature or something like that. But outside of that, man, all of them was cool. Beto, man, just the whole everybody. It's Brody, man, everybody. All of that was at North, South, East, West clicking, and they all used to be at the studio together. You know, under one roof, solid with each other. And I mean, I ain't seen it wasn't no beef. You know, it wasn't even no hate at those times. If it was, they hid it. Everybody hid it. You know, but shit, they were cool, man.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever. We even didn't feel any hate from that. It was just, of course, there's always rivalry with music,
right.
But that's where it was. And then, of course, a situation happens out in Fort Worth where you know, people have explained from different sides who's been on this platform to speak on that story. Y'all go back and watch it. But technically, MO3 had to shoot his way out of a club in Fort Worth. A guy very well known in Fort Worth ended up losing his life in that situation.
Right. Rest in peace to the brother. I never knew who. I heard he was a DJ.
Yeah, he was somebody. I forget his name off the rib.
But technically, let's rewind.
Please. Thank you. Come on back.
So it was some beef that was starting between 3 and Yayo. That's who he was out there in Fort Worth with. So the beef was getting, you know, it was just a bunch of this. You know, MO3 and Yayo, they hadn't seen each other, they hadn't boxed. They ain't shot at nobody with none of that. It seemed like the whole, again, with Trap and them, when they was all come to the studio, I believe Yayo was somewhere in the mix. I knew of him. My brother is out of Fort Worth, so he's like really known out there, barber, and other things. And but Yayo, he used to cut Yayo hair. They whole clique, the whole clique out there. So incident happened at the studio where Yayo pops up at the studio, him and his clique. I don't want to say guns were drawn or nothing like that, but they was packing, and they it pretty much caught everybody off guard. And my thing is, I don't never get caught off guard, man. I come first thing the streets, but secondly, I'm in the nation. I'm on security 24/7. Right now, I'm on security. I can never let that go, but somehow, somebody left. Lil Ronnie was at the studio. Lil Ronnie, Fort Worth, Lil Ronnie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace to him and his daughter. Man, that's crazy. So, Lil Ronnie, who ended up at the studio was me, MO3, some little young, it was a young, two young, I don't know what you call them. They was about to get their first big interview. MO3, they were so happy. They were so happy that they were like, "We're gonna get our first interview." That's what they were saying. They were so excited, a dude and a girl. And they were young. And all that shit went to pieces. Them people came in the studio and basically Yayo came at 3 respectfully. "Hey man, I need to holler at you." And 3 was packing too. And it didn't nothing happen. Thank God. Did nothing happen. But man, they figured out where the beef was coming from at the studio. So you would think, I thought they had squashed it. They find out that, and it's real, Nana, he was a leader of a gang.
Oh,
yeah. Stretch Gang, I believe.
Yeah, Stretch Gang, right. He is who was spreading rumors to both of them. And at that night, they called him on 2 different, one called him on his phone, FaceTime. Excuse my language, I don't even use this language, but this from when they came back in, explaining to me. Well, I walked out there afterwards because inside we were good. Inside was already good. It was crazy. The cats up in here, they on shit, they on one. And everybody scared to move. I'm like, man, I'm walking around. So I think DJ June, he can bear witness to all this. He asked me, was I scared? I'm like, hell no, what am I gonna be scared for? Man, ain't nothing happened up in here. No, unless it happened to me first. It's my spot. It gotta happen to me. It ain't nobody, no, hell no. It ain't the way I roll. So he like, feel my heart, I'm scared. Everybody was scared, and I understand that. I wasn't, come back in the room, shit, I was over here trying to call my brother, because when they told me, I asked them, where y'all from? And they like, shit, from the phone. I said, Fort Worth? And he like, yeah. I'm like, y'all know my brother Segundo? They like, yeah, that's our OG. He said, ain't your brother. I said, no, that's my brother for real. That's my real brother. I said, y'all, he ever talked to y'all about going to Dallas, Ray, and all this? And they like, I just got quiet, but I'm over here hitting him, texting him, bro, hit me back right now, 911, I need you. It's about to go down. I don't know what's going to go down. So I walk away from my phone, and I'm talking to June. One of the brothers I'm in my chair in front of my desk. How my desk set up. There's a chair right here next to me. One of the guys was sitting right there. I left my phone sitting there. When I come back in the room, that brother was now standing up next to his other people. And I looked at my call, my brother had called. So I said, he must have saw it. But I'm trying to hit him back to answer. He ain't answering no more. Or he ain't pick up. Yeah. Dude asked, Segundo, your brother for real? I'm like, yeah, man, for real. And I said, he my little brother. I'm the one, this, that, and the other. And he like, oh man, what? Why this nigga ain't told us this? Yayo ain't told him nothing. You know, they said none of this. So when they come back in from outside, it was a minute because they was outside airing it out, trying to figure out what's happening. They bust Nana in line together. Basically, whoever made the second call, he let him talk again, and he was saying everything that Yayo was saying. And then he like, nigga, bitch, I'm right here with him. He ain't said none of that. Woo, 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 woo. He flipped. Nada. That's y'all beef. That's y'all beef. He like, man, bro, you got us about to kill each other, man. Man, come on now. You need to pull up. You need to pull up and come holler at us, you know. And he like, it's y'all beef. He, got off, but they squashed. At that moment, it shouldn't have been nothing. Something else happened tonight, because, it's MO3 had, hitting his people, because he in the jam. And he forgot he hit his people. Oh, and shit. Yeah, man.
Oh shit, they gonna pull up too.
Exactly. So
gotta quiet that down.
When they came back in, first they were like, let's do a song. Let's just go. I'm here, I'm in Fort Worth, let's do a song together. We get ready to do a song, and man, that shit, that energy changed, and it was back to, damn, man. Yeah. What? Damn, but MO3 apologized. He's like, damn, my bad. I had lost it. They can all bear witness to this. So everybody was there. I clicked, old spirit jumped out, and I just lost it. I started hearing, hey, I ain't about to come up now, and I lost it. And 3 was like, no, drop, no, it ain't that, my bad. No, everybody, no, we good. We good. We all good. So everything got right back good, but that shifted the energy, and they went on back to forward. It kind of the small disrespectful words coming from the dudes that came, because they didn't know. The dudes that came up there, they didn't know that it had been squashed. So they saying a few little things, and they all just kind of dispersed, but it was all good. They find out who's starting they beef. So why it happened in Fort Worth, I can't really, say what really transpired there. I've heard the rumors.
Yeah.
I heard, Yayo was there, 3 was there, and shit went haywire.
Guns came out, things happened. 3 goes, he has to fight this case, so he can't really move around like he wants to, make music like he wants to. He kind of goes quiet as far as when it comes to music.
Right. We were still recording.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what was that? I think what was the stipulations for why he wasn't actively putting music out during that time?
Well, at that time, the hate was getting, he was still dealing with the hate. At this time, the North Dallas hate is real. It was real crazy. This hate is getting, this is this should never happen. And him and Trap and all them are beefing,
Yeah, Trap, of course.
Everything was happening all at the same time, man. And it was like, God damn, man, you need to sit down, bro. You need to chill out. Man,
yeah, Trap, of course, continues to, be around Yayo. And,
right.
It's kind of how, like, not saying it's loyalty in people, but you just expect someone to do what you would do. Like, why would you still? And so it kind of lets you down and,
Right. The OGs, I would say, dropped the ball, because it was Oak Cliff OGs, they out there, that was respected. But I don't believe, I would say, I don't know who they was around, I would say that. And I say they dropped the ball because I'm in 3 ear every chance I get. And not because I'm in the nation. I am in the nation. That's my duty, that this don't need to be happening. But at the same time, I was in the streets and I know how this can end. And y'all, nah, bro. No, this ain't what's up. It's too much. You getting too close. You need to stay focused, And if you start listening to the songs, I was pouring to him a lot where he started to write. So you start hearing Nation in his raps. You start hearing Elijah Muhammad in his raps. You start hearing Muslim in his dialogue. because I was pouring in him hoping. So for me, let me say this. At some point, the dream that he had been having, man, it started, you can see this shit as reality, getting close. I started feeling. So my main thing was to make sure, first I always talked about you staying out of the streets and getting away from all this madness and stop beefing and stop all this, but every week it's a new enemy. You know, somebody else done jumped on them and it's always something. Bro, it started getting to the point where I start seeing the atmosphere clear. Yeah. It started getting real clear of what was gonna happen. So my thing was if I don't do nothing, if I can't stop this, you know, because I'm trying to, regardless of all that, if I can save your life, I'm out here, you know, saving every day. This is just our duty. If I can't save you, at least you can find the truth of give you truth to have peace within yourself. Because that's really where at some point I couldn't stop it. And I knew I couldn't stop it. It just kept going, man. So if I can get him to have peace and hopefully peace, whatever between him and God at this moment, whatever God does with him at this moment, that's between him and God, but I'm gonna put my efforts. He talked to ministers that I had meetings with him, with other ministers, ministers that was appointed by Minister Farrakhan here in Dallas, wow. Meetings with them, they private meeting. I never asked what that was about. But he definitely knows some stuff that happened, you know, far as, him pouring his heart about those dreams. He shared, I'm pretty sure he shared. I don't know what, but I know he shared that with him. Because I told him, I said, man, they had it at my studio. Talk to him. You know, you can pour your heart out. Hey, it stays with y'all. Y'all don't want to know what y'all talked about. That's between y'all. At the time I was married, and my wife at the time had an organization, a kids organization. We would get 3 involved. Bro, we always had 3 involved in positive things, man, all the time. I got all these pics if y'all want them pics to show during the broadcast. You can see all this. She had a children organization with all these children, man. We used to have all the children from South Dallas. Was real, most of them from South Dallas. 3 would come out and talk. He would go out to the schools. First day of school, it was called Curse Killers. My wife had the organization, and we had 3 involved, man, because I knew all this other stuff was happening. But hopefully I can give them some positive stuff to make them see something different, you know? Right. And
well, I'll say this, 3 is going on his beef with North Dallas. He's doing that. Yella Beezy, Trap Boy, they're Smurf, they're doing their thing, they're putting on for the cliff. December, 2017, I'm sorry, Yella Beezy does drop the Light Work 2, which has That's On Me on it.
Yes.
And mind you, everyone's shooting for that Star song.
Right.
And then Yella actually gets it to that where it takes off.
Right.
And 2018, Dallas is on board. We feel like we got one. That's On Me is going crazy. And Roy Lee is a guy who's riding for 3.
Right.
He's riding for 3. And you can see Roy Lee kind of taking on, what 3's beefs. Roy Lee kind of takes that on himself. He did a few Real Life Street Stars interviews where he was, basically having
he was
having run-ins. Yeah, he was having run-ins with, the Ben Franks and things were happening. Things were happening throughout 2018. And, you just kind of see like, he's asking for the fade,
Yes.
And that's like a running thing. He's like, I would like to fight because who's from where, and no one's from where they're supposed to be. And,
right.
And,
from my understanding, the fight came off of them basically jumping him at the club.
Yeah.
Yella Beezy and his people. Everybody knows this, So, supposed to had an altercation.
Yeah.
And so Roy Lee is like, we're going to fight.
Yeah, a couple altercations, really. It happened a couple times.
Yeah, it happened a couple times.
So he said,
you're right. Twice. He like, hey, we got to fight, bro.
Yeah.
So the fight, I'm like, man, it's just a fight. This is friendly. You know, this is not, nobody has to lose their life, you know, when they start talking about fighting, you know.
I mean, you seen it with Puka and 3 early.
Right.
Like,
come on, man. Yeah. You fight, you walk away, you live, you know. And you know what they say, Boys in the Hood, they say you live to fight another day.
Fight another day,
you know?
On Friday,
Yeah, on Friday, on Friday, yes, sir. So it's like, man, that's what it is. So at some point, I guess, you know, at some point, you know, he ended up getting shot.
Yeah, 2018 October,
yes.
Roy Lee gets shot.
Right.
But he survives it.
Right.
You know, he was with his son off of Northwest Highway and Preston.
Right.
In technically North Dallas.
By the Galleria. See,
by the Galleria, yes.
Now let's stop. Can we I want to say something.
Please.
Because I've been hearing so many different rumors. And what you're saying is what I got from him. I ain't heard nothing about he was over here at some other location. No. I ain't heard that he was over here. No, when he said he was off Preston, right by the Galleria, because that little street, I forgot that street that goes straight to the Galleria.
Northwest Highway, if you know, it's right there. Galleria is right there.
The Galleria is right there. It's right there. Preston 685. You know, that behind, you know, where the mall used to be, that one street behind the mall goes straight to Galleria. You know, the other mall that used to be there. Before North Park, this was the North Park Mall. Yeah. Valley View. Valley View. So Valley View, the street behind Valley View led straight to the Galleria. Correct. So he said he was over there. You know, Correct. In that area, but you know, so he said that. This is what I want to clear up. We, you know, a lot of people say it was a robbery or nobody had nothing to do with this. He didn't get this. Man, this came from this brother's mouth. You know, and no disrespect to no one else's opinions, but the brother said that what you just said. He had his son with him, so. He was going to meet some Mexicans to give him a deposit for a show. I don't know how that hooked up. We didn't get into those details. But he said that he bagged in and he saw them, they were bagged in. And he says, all of a sudden, something told me something wasn't right. He said, man, he told his son to get down. He said something just didn't feel right, and he put his car in drive and stayed on the brake. And I don't know if he said he signaled them or they signaled. Well, the SA got out the car, and when he got out the car, he upped on him and started shooting, but he was already ready to hit the gas. And one of the bullets came through and hit his leg. That ain't no robbery. When you rob somebody, you got to get up close on them and say, give me what you got. It ain't no robbery, somebody shooting across the damn parking lot saying, this, you know, I'm going to rob somebody. No, it ain't no robbery. We can kill that story today that it was not no robbery.
That was an execution.
Somebody set him up. Yeah. That was an execution, period.
Yeah.
Period. That's just all that is. You know, so let's get away from that, man. The brother was set up, you know, rest in peace, you know, and it man, it didn't have to go like that.
It didn't have to go.
You know, whatever. I don't know what else. He could have been some other stuff. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't really know he was going
something
through.
Happened a week before with a promoter. Nothing serious, but it was, you know, people know who know.
Yes.
At a spot in Oak Cliff, but you know, we'll just stay with what we know.
Right.
He gets shot. He actually survives the shooting.
Right.
You know, he makes his phone calls. He speaks to Reallyfe, even in this situation. You know what I'm saying? He talks,
so, I ain't making none of this up.
Yeah, he calls and talks to Rook for a minute, just you know, speaking on it. And he technically, of course, is expected to survive.
He was in good spirits when he was at the studio.
He
had the bandage still.
He had a show, I think, in Paris, Texas, or somewhere.
Paris, Texas, somewhere in the country.
He was going to get back to it.
He said, I'm just going to go down here, get this money, because I had my money funny. He was always cracking jokes. Yeah. He was like, my money funny. I got to go get this money. and I get back, I have the surgery.
Yeah.
That was all he was doing, the turnaround, bro.
Man,
and that
he was supposed to be on his blood thinners.
In my head, I was like, man, I think he need to sit down, bro. You know, because I know bullets that can happen, you know, but I think he good, you know, he in great spirit.
Yeah.
But he was saying he know who did it, you know? And I'm like, okay.
Did he tell you who he
Well,
fucked with?
he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to the room.
Oh,
I'm the bitch, you know, and he didn't come to the studio for me. He came for 3 and, you know, because they were, you know, friends. They was close, bro.
So he came and saw 3 before he went to Paris.
Yep.
Of course, as everyone know, you know, I think he made it to Paris or got around Paris, and then
he did make it to Paris.
He made it to Paris.
Yeah, he made it to Paris.
And then
I want to say he did the show, didn't he?
He did the show.
On his way back.
He was on his way back, and that's when the complications.
Yeah.
And of course, he ended up losing his life that morning.
And then that's when it turned into a murder. So my question I always asked was, you know, like, you know, I ain't on no police shit. I ain't never been, you know, with the police. I mean, even being in the nation, you'd think, you know, we'll have some type of good dealings with the police, and that don't change. So it was like, that's why I said I came from the streets, and some of the same stuff you had to deal with the police, man. You can't be out here trying to save your people, man. You can go to jail trying to save your people. You know, for real. Yeah.
For real. Well, you know,
definitely got a ticket for it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
Got a ticket for trying to save them.
So
I don't know what the ticket.
Yeah, you gonna get some kind of ramification.
Yeah. I said, did y'all do the pastor like this?
right.
I was some instances I was wild coming into the nation, so you couldn't just come up on me, you know, halfway. You know, I lost all I knew was the streets, you know.
That's real.
But hey, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, you know, and definitely rest in peace to Rolly.
Rest in peace.
That morning he gets, you know, he passes away. The city's in an uproar, and then that night, you know, around 2 a.m, Yellow Beezy gets shot. His Mercedes gets shot up, his G-Wagon, and you know, he's leaving the club, he's leaving the strip club, go to 1 or 2 strip clubs. And on his way home on 121, there's a shooting, and he's hit multiple times. And he's in the hospital, of course, to recover. That's on me, he's on BET. You know, we kind of know what's going on in 3. He really is like, he lost his, like.
Man, 3 funny, man.
Yeah, man.
I hate to laugh, man.
What was your,
you ain't laughing at Yellow and the situation. I'm laughing at 3, man. He was funny, man.
Yeah, speak on that. Because no one was around 3 like that as far as, you know, to be recording him during this time.
Man, 3 was funny, bro. That's all I can say, man. 3 was a character, man. But, I mean, he made songs and people will be like, damn, he said that? You know, for me, I don't know what the one side, you know, of what's happening out there. Of course, I'm hearing everything, you know, somebody getting shot on the freeway. Of course, Yellow Bee, I know who Yellow Beezy is. I know who everybody is. But I'm not putting that, you know, I'm thinking he probably got into it with some other stuff, you know. And man, and I hear, you know, it's rumors that 3 has something to do with this. So, and I'm like, okay, I gotta ask him. You know, I ain't gonna not ask him. I mean, what kind of, bro, you getting, I'm already on his ass about stuff that's happening. And, you know, he's like, man, no, we ain't gonna talk about that. You know, I said, not right now, we'll talk about it some other time. You know, but then we do the songs. You know, shit, I'm from the streets, man. Come on, man. You know, I'm hearing what it is in the song, you know, so I clearly hear something, you know, I understand, you know, metaphors and, you know, shit. I'm a writer as well. So I'm like, man. So I ain't really say too much more on that. I mean, I can clearly know and see that this is what happened.
He's making the songs like 221, 223.
Yeah, right.
He's saying things that, you know, are referencing things that's, you know, technically real life.
Right.
Just as like you said, you from the streets, you hear the music. Again, this is a conversation because this is what they're trying to also do now with 3's trial is bring in the music. Right. For you yourself, since we're on the subject, do you feel like artists expressing themselves in music is separate from the real person or things that happen in their real life?
Well, let me say this, man.
Should not be pulled up.
Shoot, let's keep it real. Hip hop started off talking about self-destruction, us doing better, the system is against us. So that wasn't fairy tale. It wasn't none of that fairy tale. So rappers ain't out here just fairy telling. I'm just being straight. Ain't no rappers out here there's probably have some guys out here, a percentage of guys, but they ain't how hip hop started. Hip hop started out by giving stories out that, and turning things into songs that you was doing in real life, to help another person to get, through, help them get up and want to help change. That's what songs came out on, talking about real shit. You go back then, you go to NWA, NWA was first group that started talking about, really getting down. Everybody, now watch this, what they said about Ice Cube. They said Ice Cube wasn't the one doing nothing, but it was some real cats up in NWA. So they was putting these songs together, based off of real events.
So were you ever scared of 3's lyrics? Like when you hear him saying some of the things he was saying?
Well, first I just say I don't fear no one but God.
Yeah, I don't mean fear like as in I'm scared of this man, but fear for like what he's saying. Like, are you out here doing these things?
Well, let me say this. From just say, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I can't let you crash out. Yeah. So, no, bro, you can't say that.
You know what I'm saying? You can say this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm right there all the time. You can't, okay, all right, yeah, but I don't know what the hell, I don't know what the inside.
But you can't say this.
But I know you can't say this though, because you got too much beef already. Right. If you say this, man, you're gonna have everybody on you. Yeah. That's how I used to think. Like, nah, bro, you can't say this. That was all the time. Like, nah, bro, you can't say that.
Is there one thing that you could tell us that you had to omit? One thing that he might have said on the track that you like, nah, we can't put that in there.
Man, there's a lot of stuff that he said I can't say it, man. I mean, I don't want to, even though he's not here.
Respectful.
Well, this is how I look at, and this is just real. Let me just say this. It is respect, but he's not here and he can't defend himself. And I don't believe he would want, if he was here, I definitely wouldn't be having this interview talking about this. We wouldn't even being honest, because I have to make sure his integrity, But with him not being here, I believe different. So I know this is not hurting him in any kind of way, because what's written is written for him. It's already, they know everything. On that other side, God got it already planned out. This was already planned before he was having them dreams. Them were downloads. We call dreams downloads. So he didn't create those dreams. He was getting downloads from a source. From some source, he was getting downloads. And this is what shaped him in knowing he had to be ready. Just being straight. He knew he had to be ready because they was coming at him. And then once he started seeing it, it got real for his life. It got real. Every day, it got real.
So you would be in the studio with him while these things would be getting real. Like, what was his mind frame when these things was going on?
Man.
Because he didn't smoke or drink.
Right. So there was none of that going on. No. He always had a clear head. So he wasn't, it was great because I wasn't smoking nor drinking. So we both two minds over here getting it in. You just straight connection. He getting them that booth. And I get in that zone, and he in that zone, bro. I can tell, I know the time when I say cracked MO3. And that means, if you ever, y'all know about, the atoms. In the teachings, we talk about cracking the atom. Yeah. I know the time that I cracked MO3 and he went to another level in his game that he didn't have to have nothing on paper. Right. And them downloads were just coming. And I told him he'll get there. I told him that you will get there one day if you just stay at it, bro. And the day he did, I knew it. Oh, it was on. This is thing right here.
Yeah, what day was that? What happened?
Man, this was let me go back 2018. It was around the 9/11 time. I would say it was around that time. It was before he did And I. It was right there though. It was right before And I. Right before And I, MO3, that atom sparked. And shoot, he ain't had to, because a lot of times he would have ideas. He came in the studio with ideas that still need to be sharpened, still need to be, a lot of times he didn't have the, man, a lot of people don't know this stuff, man. People just think I be making shit up, but a lot of people can bear witness to my talent in the booth, in the studio.
Nah, I can.
Yeah, already, man. Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, not facts.
So I made sure that we going to the next level regardless. So he would have these ideas and not necessarily songs, and I'm the one that have to put it in that song form to make it make sense. And once he stood understanding it, he still coming, so this is happening. And so finally when he cracked, and I was so happy because it just was like seeing the youngster that was sitting on the floor that day. That's what I thought about. He's sawing, man.
What was your proudest moment personally for 3 that you've seen with like, man?
Man, honestly, my proudest moment, honestly, was the first time he was so excited. I want to say Epic. When Epic.
That signing.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
And I knew that, but I knew this wasn't it though.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Everyone seen in the moment that
right.
He's like, man, it's over from here.
But really, my proudest moment was when them atoms cracked. When he cracked, when I saw that, it was on. Because now I can sit back and sell. I can I can relax. I don't got to push as hard. So I had a method that, and it was for myself, for my own, what I'm doing. In the studios, when it's just us, he didn't bring a lot of people in the studio. Let me say that. He rarely had, sometimes just a female with him in the studio and just us, But when he had features, I stood back and let him do his thing. But that was my opportunity to see if he's actually getting what I'm pouring into him. So everything that I was pouring into him, I would use the time he do features to see if he's actually getting it. I don't got to say nothing now. Let him shine in front of all these guys that been hearing him. Let him shine. This is his moments to shine with these features. And they was like, but they loved it. Well, people love to see MO3 behind the mic in the studio. It was like a show. It was like a show every time. Yeah, man.
So, there was time when, MO3 would come around. He would come pull up on Reallyfe Street Starz. And it almost seemed like a battleground or a war field because no bullshit. Like they would surround the studio with K's and
right.
And it seemed like there was a war going on.
Right.
And there was rumors of money on his head.
Say it again? Money
on his head.
Yes. Right.
Was that a thing that he was ever dealing with?
Yeah. Now he did when you can't just say something around me and me not say nothing.
Right.
Bro, he started talking about money on his head and it was this much. I'm like, bro, what? He like, yeah. He said, man, shit. Yeah, they in and this was actually, he had money on his head before the stuff started getting real wild. I'm talking about before Roy Lee.
Right.
Yeah.
This was and Pick 6. He had an interview with Sean Cotton.
Pick 6, man. This is what we gotta go back to now.
Okay, let's go back to
Let's go back to Pick 6, man. So Pick 6, we recorded, his part. They sent me, finally it was like, man, what's going on? Why 3 ain't on Pick 6? So finally, somebody, I don't know if I hit somebody or somebody hit me, they gonna send it on over to me. So 3 got his spot open. Let's do it. 3 come to the studio, lace it up, kill it. I know it was sent it back with the vocals, you know, already ready. And when it come out, 3 ain't on it. So it's like, okay, you know, I know how I feel. It's like, oh, well, fuck it. You know, that's, y'all making Pick 6 less than what it could have been. You know, that's where I was at. 3 kind of felt disrespected, kind of felt left out. He been left out his whole life, you know. I mean, you got to think about it, man. You know, he looking up to, you know, cats in the streets, having money, you know, he out here sleeping in cars. He out here trying to get it. He's scratching. You know, he out here scratching. So it's like he always felt left out, you know. So anyway, at some point in his early mind, anyway, to get in, I'm getting in. Money mob situation, being pistol toe. I'm trying to get in, you know. So that to him, that one, it ain't just, he wasn't just mad, he was kind of hurt behind that shit, you know. And I understood, you know, his way he looked at it and he was coming from. Yeah, it was. So something happened. I don't know what. It always be like that. Every day something new. Man, he at the studio. Everybody kept hitting him. You know, just texting him, calling, he ain't answering. Trap went live. They said Trap went live and was saying MO3, F North Dallas, F all them niggas out there. It's Oak Cliff, Texas, F MO3, F, you know, all that. So that's why they were blowing 3 up. 3 finally get a whiff of it. He say, man, I'm finna pull up. Cause he don't know what's going on. So, but he felt the animosity. He pulls up and everybody saw that video. When he pulled up on Trap, he came out there to fight. Let's go on this box. You know, let's get this over with. But bro, we just, dang, shit, a few days ago, no stuff may have been somehow, but we ain't been here. And that's when everything kind of, all the separation and choosing sides. The second time this happened. You know, I ain't gonna talk about the first time. You know, people be in their feelings, man. But people gonna be in their feelings anyway. I'm just speaking what happened, what the truth was. Man pulled up on him, wanted to fight. He pulled out an AK on him. And I mean, come on, man. The streets only recognize in the streets, you know, you pull up on somebody to fight and somebody pull a gun on you and don't kill you. In the streets, you saying, oh man, it's up from now, you know? And that was one turning point where everything kind of really started. That's when shit went crazy.
Yeah. Once, like you just said, you know, to walk away from that situation with that mentality, like, okay, you pulled a gun on me.
Right.
It doesn't make it any easier.
Right.
To say that. What is Rain status and all this, Rainwater, as his manager?
At the time?
Yeah. Especially with y'all in the studio, like when it comes to y'all working.
Well, he wasn't really in the studio. He wasn't never in the studio with us. Okay. 3 was very iffy about having people in the studio, really, because he knew what I was saying. I don't know how he was taking it, but it sure took it that he really don't know nobody in the studio. Rain would come in the studio when features come and money moving around and stuff like that. Outside of that, he come every now and then. I mean, very blue moonish. But I will say this, he still knew about that because some instances, man, let me rewind. You know, it was his idea. You know, to get it out there, he asked both of them when they were all cool to fake beef. You know, he asked them to fake beef so we can get some numbers up. Real brothers, real, you know, cats in the street say, both of them, man, hell no. That's Trap, I believe, was like, man, hell no, nigga, don't do no shit like that. And 3 like, man, boy, you get your crazy ass, you know, and they kind of just left it there. But that was his idea to get them to beef, you know, fake beef.
I mean, it turned into real beef, which the numbers actually did go up.
Not saying that Rain initiated that, But you know, if we go into a spiritual thing, we also talking about MO3 spoke on his death.
Power of the tongue,
you know,
and all
how
that.
y'all people that say he spoke his death and look at this and say he didn't put that into the atmosphere. So let's just be real about that in the spiritual part. He put that in the atmosphere at that moment. Not knowing, he may not know what he was doing. You know, so I ain't
or didn't know the consequences
him,
of.
But you put it out there in the atmosphere. That's when I know that was put out into the atmosphere.
They always go back and forth about who orchestrates Mo3's career and what Rain added to it in regards. From your aspect, what did you see?
Well, that's not a fair question.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta ask it. in your mindset, as far as knowing what you were doing with 3 and knowing what y'all were doing, as far as 3's career, just from what you saw, how important is the Rain effect?
Man, say, coming from 3 and people around 3 and the head bumping between 3 and Rain, it's for me, it's probably, man, I don't know which way to put the scale, but man, a lot of times 3 was mad at Rain because he's not answering the phone. He's not booking the shows. He's, and I know this is controversial. He's gonna look at me and say, "No, it ain't got nothing to do with me." This is what 3 said. 3 said that he wouldn't, and whatever they said about me, they done said all kind of mess about me. I ain't stood up. I've been quiet, man. I've been praying. I've been begging. You know, God, hey man, come on, bro. Y'all know I don't like just people lying on me, slide me in the mud, just treat me any kind of way, throwing me out.
That's why we having this conversation, because
just reckless about me, and nobody out of everybody, you know, just everybody that know me. Everybody that know me, know my heart, know how real I am. Nobody stood up and said nothing. Which it ain't their job, you know. And I understand that it ain't their position. But hey, man, goddamn, say something. No, is that everybody? I mean, I've done a lot of real stuff with people that I would expect, you know, to say something, you know. And nobody say nothing, you know. But I appreciate the brothers that may have said something on the side that I don't know about. But publicly,
no one with a big enough voice,
right?
Like
right, man. No drop. Ray always been solid. You know, I ain't perfect by far, but I'm pretty damn close. You know, I've been pretty close to making sure I keep real about situations. Have I messed up? Yeah, I ain't perfect, man. But to say how they drug my name through the mud and all of it was fabricated BS, man, I kept my mouth closed. Like, boy, you know how much stuff I know. Man, come on, man. Y'all chill out. And it's like, bro, man, 3 stayed into it with Rain for years. Why he get rid of Rain? You know, that's the questions. People get rid of it. Man, forget all that. 3 ain't like that. You know, he was dealing with more drama outside of Rain, that this was petty to him, this Rain stuff, but I'm looking at it as real. He will always be into it for his shows, not getting booked, running my name over here. Bro, stop doing this. Bro, stop doing this. I go over here. I'm thinking I'm about to walk in, and this 3 words. This ain't my words. I think I'm about to walk in over here, dapping people up, and they looking at me sideways. And the brother, the nigga, but they use, if I, you know, nigga, see that, you know, 3 say he'll see it, that some ain't 100, but the dude will come on forward like, bro, say, man, I thought we were beefing. Your manager, this, that, and the other. And he like, what? Nah, bro, if you ain't, he said, man, you need to get your manager, bro. I know y'all probably heard that a lot of time, man. You get your manager, you know.
Rain even spoke on that before.
Yeah, so a lot of, and not saying, you know, I mean, Rain, man, he used to do a lot. You know, he used to do a lot out there, man. He just, you know, hopefully he didn't grew to mature, you know, and, you know, that's between him and God. If he asked to cover his mistakes that he made, you know, I started hearing him talk a lot positive, you know, which is good, you know, great thing that he started talking positive. Did me wrong, you know, but hey, man, you know, my reward is with, you know, Allah, God. So it ain't with him, you know.
Before Mo3 passed, you know, you were preaching, you know, the Muslim to him and all that stuff like that. But then you know, there was rumors of him seeking more, like spiritual psychics.
Well, let me rewind. I always gotta rewind, bro.
Come on, man. Come on.
So, because I say Muslim don't mean we ain't spiritual. Honestly, I done been on both sides, so I can say this. I've been a Christian my whole life, you know, and I still say they're my roots, and I still own anywhere where a cross at. That's my house. Right. That's the house of the Lord, and I can walk in any house because that's my home. So I just want to put that out there before I say this. No, spirituality, man, being a Muslim, but if you ain't got no spirituality, man, you can't see it coming. So this is why I started off talking about I had sight and I could see things. So at some point, man, now, my wife is who gave MO3 before this psychic stuff. This is what led him to get more deeper. My wife gave him his first tiger's eye. If those who know what a tiger's eye is, it's a stone that gives you insight of things that have happened before. You know, and that's my wife gave him that, gave it to me to give to him. The day I gave it to him is the day Yayo and them came to the studio, and he was sitting here with the rock in his hand saying, "Drop this rock of food." He said, bro, he was just about to, we gotta talk about that, man. But you know, man, spirituality, man, we was always on that. Right. Always on that. No, that's for real.
So there was like a psychic that kind of went viral that he was talking to. Did you know of it when he was talking to the psychic?
I didn't know of that psychic. I didn't know of that psychic. I knew that MO3 was on a spiritual journey, and it was strong during that time because of what, you know, so much darkness.
Right.
You know.
So do you think he was trying to figure out, like, his life? Like, am I gonna die through that? Like, is that what you think he was trying to search for?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's why he got the spiritual, the tiger's eye. You know, because it was so much happening at that moment. My wife, at the time, she prayed over it. You know, she did, you know, her things. And 3 knew we was already, you know, all together, you know, far as he knew my family. He knew my whole family, you know. So we knew uplifting his spirituality was number one for us. You know, that's just straight up. You know,
right.
Uplifting his spirituality was number one. And I would tell my wife, I say her name, Benicia. You know, she has she's still in her thing. She has a wellness store in DeSoto, you know, called golly, how can I?
Come on, you got to promote it, man.
Yeah, golly, because my mind is so every goddamn where the house. I'm gonna get back to it in a second, but she's always been, you know, on the spirituality side. The greenhouse.
Okay,
I knew it would
greenhouse.
come out.
Okay, greenhouse.
If y'all ever heard of that, you know, the greenhouse, but she's always been, you know, in the spirituality, and 3, you know, being around us all the time, man, outside of the studio, outside of the drama, you know. He was there when I got married that night. He pulled up, you know, he like family, bro. He didn't want no, you know, everybody, you know, believed and heard from all these, you know, clowns out here.
This is just me asking because a lack of knowledge that I don't know, but this is just what I've heard, right? Mm-hmm. And just, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, but it feels, I've heard like, you know, you become a Muslim and not that it's okay to kill, but like you could be forgiven for that. Is that a thing, or am I
don't know who said that.
Okay.
Let me clear this up, man. Okay, yeah, if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist, we all have the right to protect ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all have that right as a believer in God, you know, to protect ourselves. It ain't no different. You know, Muslim just means one who submits his will to do the will of God. That's what a Christian is doing.
Right.
Should be. A Muslim should be. But when Muslim is not a religion. Islam is the religious part of being a Muslim. A Muslim is your nature. So it's not nature to go out here and kill people. Your nature is to submit your will to do the will of God, you know, and do it well, you know, and be found doing it at all times. We are all Muslim, regardless if we claim to be or not. You know, you can be a good Christian, but you're a Muslim in my eyes because I know what it means.
Yeah, no, you know, this is just my personal question, you know, just because of, you know, my ignorance and all this. Did like Mo3 ever, he ever like a 8-ball, he ever like shake it and ask it questions?
No.
I'm just
No,
messing
sir.
with you. I'm just messing with you. So
Yes,
Drop,
sir.
you know, we have to speak on it because like you said, your situation with Rain and things, and after his death, you know, even for your name to come up, like you said, no one came to your defense. Can you speak on the actual, I guess was it a lawsuit?
They sued the hell out of me.
Yeah. Can you speak on where that generated from? Who was involved in it? And just take us through what that was. If you don't mind. And it's because of his song rights.
Let's look at it like this. Let's speak actual facts.
Please.
Let's think logic here. Let's think logic for a second. And if y'all agree with me or not, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Okay. If it's only me, it's only three people, his people. Rain, you know, it's 3 people for his manager. 3 dies. Who is to tell what? Who is left to tell who owes what to, what it is, how it was going before he left? It's only 2 people, right? Yeah. One person decides to say he ain't do nothing. Bro, the city, come on, man. He ain't did nothing. He basically like I stole Mo3 stuff, you know? And so this was happening before I even knew it. Because I'm feeling the energy coming from the state, you know, to say, you need to give up all this and that and the other. And I'm like, hold on, bro, you don't even know me like that. First off, hold on, man, you gonna respect. I don't know where this is coming from. And Rain always said he didn't know nothing about that. This was his mom and them over there. I'm like, they mom and them don't know nothing about this. Come on, man. We done ran this for 6 years straight. Only person that can have a talk with them is me and you. That is it. So anything that is not coming 1,000, then it got to be on the other side. Cause I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I ain't never known nothing else. I ain't never knew nothing else in my life but to keep it 1,000. And when all that negative stuff started coming at me, that I was doing this, that, and the other, man, I had to. That shit was.
You know, you have to, for you to have that come at you, knowing like right now, you just told partial of the story. Again, we can't go through your whole life, 6 years in 2 hours.
Yeah,
but you're telling, you know, if people could pick up what you're putting down, for them to come at you or whoever's going to come at you to say you had nothing to do with it, start throwing any kind of dirt on your name.
Bro.
How are you taking this? Because you know what work you put in the handshake deals that you made. And when you make it, we make it. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew what it was supposed to be.
Bro, when it came to a point of saying that Mo3 taught me everything that I know, that was like the biggest stab in my heart. And at the same time, I'm dealing with Mo3 death still. People don't understand it, don't really give a damn. People don't give a damn about people no more. People's heart is, man, people need to really work on their heart. I work on my heart. I know I need to work in other areas. But people really need to work on their heart. They'll make us joke out of this shit. They don't care. People don't care. And they ready to come. They ready, after this interview, they ready. They ready to come at whatever I done said. But man, people really need to work on their heart. Man, when 3 died, a part of me died. Only people that have been working with an artist and have came so close to, you know, with the artist and making sure he's this and making sure he's like a little brother, you know? And then we work for 5.5, 6 years and then we find out we relatives. Nobody ain't talking about that. It's because one person say, oh man, they ain't that. Boy, you better, man, say, man. Man, and they don't know how we find out. Man, my aunt was dying, chubby. Canceled our session one day, moved the session to the next day, explained myself to 3 why I shot our session down. My aunt was dying in McKinney, chubby was what her nickname is. And they call the family to come, she gone. She about to be gone, but she's still conscious and she can still hear. And so I wanted to go, this is my auntie, man. Shit, Chubby Chubby. Well, bro, cut it short, beautiful soul. I'm telling 3 about it. He say, Chubby, you talking about Ted? I hate to say, we have a cousin, we call Ugly Ass Ted. And he say, Ugly Ass Ted? So I'm like, yeah. He said, nigga, that's my auntie. I'm like, hell no. No, sir. And we kind of let it go. We ain't really say nothing. We went to work. Time still passed. But then, I don't want to go off. We got to talk about that at some point.
Yeah,
But
we
people
didn't
looked
know.
at like, man, this dude's making this shit up. No, we figured out. We found out exactly what it was, And that came to be. I got pictures in my phone, us as the family. And yeah. But man, we 3 was, I want to go back what you was saying about what happened really, between Rain and me. I think that's where you were at.
Yeah, that's where I was at, yes, please.
Okay, and so Sean G, man, the brother saw the need, because 3 put it out there, man. He was getting on Rain ass about these shows. Sean G say, well, shit, I get them. Shoot. And Sean G started booking these shows, Did Rain book shows? Yes, he booked shows. But some shows, a lot of shows he booked, he was pocketing the money, wasn't even telling 3, bro. This is facts, man. I hope, man, y'all dudes out here scared to talk up, man. Y'all can cut me off. Just being honest. Y'all don't have to be, cool with me, because, if you don't want to speak up and say Drop ain't lying, then just don't even say nothing else to me. I don't lie. I ain't putting nothing on nobody that just out of nowhere. That ain't my MO. They ain't never been my background. They ain't my family from the streets. Nobody, they ain't never been about me. So if somebody step up and say Drop ain't lying, man, god dang. Damn, man, shit. I mean, bro, he was riding off, they on shows out here. They might be, this is not actual facts. I'm just saying they might be over here in Oakland, and then he getting a call in Miami because he didn't took the money and ain't told Rain 3 nothing. And 3 over here, they finally hitting him, and then they got to get into it out here because he didn't pocket some money on the deposit and ain't said nothing about no show. And that came from 3. And others around the circle, they all knew that, So their relationship was a weird, he make it seem like that was his partner, but partner is a business name. When you go get a DBA or LLC, they ask you about partnership, So they don't mean this is my homeboy, this is somebody I'm gonna die for, this is blood, no, he's saying it right, that was his partner. He didn't give a damn about none of this other stuff, like he may be saying now, or he's been saying. He don't care about the mama, how she feel. 3, he say about the kids and all that. It's cool, man. Do what you should do, but be for real, man. Stop lying to everybody, man. And I hope somebody stand up and just really say something. Like, I don't know what the hell y'all scared of. You got Drop out here on a platform, gotta say stuff that should have been said years ago, that y'all done just let ride. So it's like, man, come on, man.
Yeah. Closest ones to it, no, definitely, again.
Right. And it was a lot. There was a lot of people close to it.
Yeah. When it comes to the songs, how many songs did you have, would you say?
It was albums.
Albums.
Yeah. Man. Including the release
most of them finished?
Well, you have some that are unfinished, but close finished. Some finished. A lot of them finished, But the way we selected songs was based off of the time of what was happening. Whatever was happening in the world at the time. That's how we selected songs. Me, 3, and Rain would be there sometimes on those selecting songs. Or we have already done it, he heard it, and run, go jam the songs together, see how it sound. But we would select the songs, and a lot would get left behind, but don't mean it was not jamming. Like like I Love Myself. That was recorded a project and a half before. We put that together with 9/11. Yeah. You know? So it was like, bro, we had songs, man, hits that was just sitting there, you know, that we felt the hits. It just wasn't, it didn't make the cut. It didn't make this album.
Correct. And no one could foresee the future. Of course, you know, with Mo3 no longer being here, being able to speak for No Drop, is we had our agreement. Like you said, he would have never left Reign based on who 3 was versus everybody saying you should get a new manager. He said, I ain't gonna leave Reign because you know who he was.
Ain't how he was.
And
man.
that's not how he was gonna do you either.
Right.
He was like, you know, this is automatic.
No.
When this came to you, did you see a fair agreement, a fair situation where both people can win? Because everybody's saying, well, what about his legacy? What about the estate, his kids? They need something forever. Did you see a fair situation that this could work out?
With hold on, let me make sure I'm getting your question. What are you asking?
Did you see a fair situation that you had in your mind that everyone could win?
After he passed?
After he passed.
Yeah.
What was it in your mind, if you don't mind me asking? How did you see?
The same thing. You know, nothing changed. I got all the files over here. I'm the one been doing all the stuff. Come on, man. Y'all gonna just take everything and just go do it the way you want. And I saw how the sound changed. See, people, you know, here go another lie. That he left because the sound wasn't right. I said, bro, hold on. This was a hit. These are all new songs, all the way up to Osama. I recorded Osama. That was the last album when he was alive. So how you say he left because the sound wasn't right? He made people think he left a long time ago. This is what he put out there. Like he left Drop a long time ago. You know, and I'm just holding these songs. Bro, my last album was Osama. What are you talking about? This is when he got the deal. What are you talking about? The sound wasn't right. A lot of them songs that's on Osama, I mixed and mastered. 221, that's on, I'm just saying, bro. That sound wasn't messed up. Well, none of that stuff. Hey, come on, man. Don't throw me out there like I'm, you know, at nobody. Everybody sucked it in.
So,
you know,
what was your plan with all the music?
Let me tell you this, at the moment in time, with Mo3's death, I'm dealing with his death, so I'm not even thinking about what's the next step with these songs. That's not what I'm on. I'm thinking about Mo3 mama, grieving. I'm thinking about his children, grieving. I'm grieving. Bro, day one, everybody else, give me the files. Ain't nobody grieving outside of his family and myself. Bruh, hell no. The actual fact, if mama would ever come on the show and say that Drop ain't lying, I asked her when I finally got a chance to sit down and have a meeting with her, because I told her that's who I would talk to. I ain't talking to y'all. Y'all wasn't there when this started. Y'all wasn't there when this started. Rain wasn't there when this started. Mama wasn't there. She wasn't even there. Bro, this is things that me and 3 talked about going forward from a long time ago. Man, these files don't go nowhere. Can't nobody call me and say, give up the files, dead or alive. This ain't got nothing to do because he passed. No, if he was alive, when he was alive, what was the files? They had to be actual facts. They had to be with me. I'm like, damn, what is people not adding 2 and 2 together? I had to have the files when he was alive. Talking about he wouldn't have the files if he was alive. Bro, what are y'all talking about? How else do you think I had them? God damn.
I'm a sense ain't, I guess it ain't free. Damn.
Yeah, 3 knew it was safe. And there was one thing I wanted to know that I wanted to know for myself, that 3 knew that, because it was things that happened at the time when he got murdered, you know, calls coming to me. I'm getting a lot of calls, so people know. And I just had to ask, man, did 3 say anything about, you know, his music, you know?
So you want to know what he wanted to do with his,
yeah.
If he spoke to anybody about his legacy.
And he knew he was safe with Drop. That's all. I ain't gonna go in. That conversation was really, I don't know why, it should have been brought up in a recent interview, but they didn't ask they didn't ask the right questions. Yeah. But that person heard the whole conversation about these files and somebody trying to come pick them up and him getting off the line and telling the person, shit, drop ain't even giving them files. Because he knew we were good. And they ain't finna go nowhere else. He come on. If you want your file, you have to. That's like you're an artist and some dude pull up and I just give him your files. Bro, you gonna want to do something to me. Mm-hmm. And by law, I can't do that.
Come on.
By street code, I ain't finna do it. And by law, I ain't finna do it. Right. Come on. His mama couldn't come get his files. Out of respect for Nicole. It's about first business, loyalty, all that. Yeah. So when I spoke to mom, she bear witness that I said to her, I can guarantee that they ain't gave you time to grieve. And she said, no, they ain't gave me time to grieve. I knew it. I already knew what the play was, man. It's a play. And that's what I was looking at. That's what made me take my positions that I took, because I saw the play coming from my life. I always tell people, I can't, you can say y'all like, that's your world. That's your life. That's your world. But I know my life and my world and the lens I had to see things through and able to see things that's happening and know what it is and know exactly what it is. So I knew it was a play. That's all I can say on that. It was a play. And I let MO3 mom know what the play they was running. I said everything straight up. I ain't sugarcoat nothing. And she saw it to be what it was,
How long were you fighting this particular situation?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. I'm just curious. Did you have people advocating for you, lawyers? Did you have?
Yeah, I had people in my corner. Yeah, I got a family. I still got a family of people that still with me now.
Yeah. Can you speak on what the outcome of that was? The
outcome? I ended up losing the law. I lost the trial. Lost in trial, but that ain't what the paperwork say. The transcripts don't say that at all. But I lost, in the jury trial.
You sat through it? Were they putting up
I represented me.
You represent yourself?
Yeah, bro. That's a whole nother story, man. It didn't start off like, actually, I started off representing myself, me and one of the brothers in PG. I went what you call supreme law. I don't know if y'all know. Supreme law means constitutional law. Came in, put the judge under oath, asked for his oath of office. Affidavit of material fact was sent to whoever was fighting, trying to come at me, because you need to reveal, in law, court of law, you have to know your accuser. So these things was filed coming in, and they ignored it. The judge respected the oath of office at that time, but this affidavit of material fact was looked to the side. And the judge, just kind of told me I need to get a lawyer, You need to get yourself a lawyer, And that wasn't the game I wanted to play in the court system. I know what the court system is like. And it ended not in my favor, but that ain't what the paperwork say. That's all I'm saying. The transcripts say, and everybody will see the transcripts one day, they'll see them. I went to war.
Yeah, did they put up a good fight as far as what, like?
No.
Dang.
Bro, they know. I would say that. They know. They know for a fact, all of them. Everybody, if y'all go look at the transcript, I was saying it, man, y'all go pull the transcripts. These transcripts been right there. What's being said and y'all hearing what Rain lying on. All these lies he's saying about me. All this stuff is in paperwork. What Money Mike got himself in and start saying, lying and saying stuff. Well, he trying to help them over there. They got something going on. I don't know. It's like, no, I don't believe this, boy. People owe me money over here lying and going on. I was like, boy, you owe me about 40 grand. You over here, man, lying, bro. What boy say, man? Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Very disrespectful.
I can only imagine. Did you have to give up the files to the state during this thing?
After it was over, once they proclaimed me to be, Not the I didn't win, so I had to give up everything. And at that point, I was like,
is there everything? Did you not keep like something? Put something.
Bro, I'd go to jail if I mean, just saying if I was to do something like that, that'd be unlawful. And I damn sure wouldn't say that on the air.
You hear that? You hear that?
You know
It's all about the citizen right here.
But nah, that's against the law, and I wouldn't do that. At that point in time, I was so hurt, you know, that they played me. You know, I just felt these are my feelings now that I got played, you know. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to hear from nobody. You know, and that hurt.
Where did the files go? Where does the files
go? To the
go?
estate.
Oh. So who's in charge of the files?
The estate.
Okay. Do what they want to do.
Right.
How they want to do it.
Whatever, how.
Do they make you delete the files, verify there's no copies, or you just won't even play with it like that?
Well, the judge made that accusation to the judge one time, and at that time I said I had a copy. You know, I just said, well, who wouldn't? I was gonna give y'all the files, and then something happened, then we ain't got nothing. Everybody, the USB, this thing going on, little ass USB. If something happened to this USB, man, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over here complaining about. I said, it just lets me know y'all don't really know a lot about music, thinking I shouldn't have. And the judge said, did you hear about it? Yeah. Ain't what's wrong with that?
Right.
You know what y'all got? I'm like, man, no, that's my duty, you know. But once I wasn't the owner, I didn't use that USB. I created a whole on another drive, gave them everything, and you cut, paste.
Did you make it like I was about to say? Did you make it neat for them and put it in nice little folders? I would have.
Yeah, I would have scattered it. No, I'm just but guess what? You know, I'm bigger than that.
There you go.
I'm bigger than that.
It tells to your character this whole situation.
Say, man, I'm bigger than that. I said this is more for 3, making sure he get out there right and be able to just go in front of the people and take care of his family. That I stood in the medium for that.
Yeah.
Nobody don't know that. You know, who gonna put it out and who gonna do this with it? No, I could have did anything. I stood in the ground on my word to 3 that man, we gonna be straight.
So,
and if it meant just him, hey, I'm all right.
What do you say about Rain keeping his name alive this whole time and just keep on steadily putting out albums? Because you know, to be fair, when someone dies, you probably hear from him for like a year, maybe, you know, in the music. But yet here we're 6 years later, and he has another album about to come out. Do you think that he's doing any good job? Or
well, I would say this: I commend him on his efforts,
right.
Of him playing a position. But you remove the position, the murder case is still here. That's public. That's all in the traffic, you know. So he was on a major label. They will push and do what they need to do. The estate will have to promote. So it's not that he made himself look like he's doing more, but you're really not doing as much going out here just running your mouth. You know, that's just being straight. You're running your mouth a lot, and if you feel in your heart that's what's keeping it going, well, man, I mean, shoot, it's not a good job, you ask me, but I commend him on what he's doing, because I'm saying that if you putting that out, that this is what it is, then things could have been a lot better. I'm just being, you know, and not because it's 3 and I was part of it. No, I'm talking on the production side. On the production side, and everybody hear it and see it, and you know, and honestly, it was things that I envisioned at some point. Things got to where I could envision what needs to happen. It had a better situation, way better, and was including. I'm not the one that'll X anybody out. I ain't never been like that. I'm trying to include. It was a way better situation. And it wouldn't require a lot of that that happened.
Hindsight 2020, would you have done that paperwork, and how would that have looked? Just from giving people education in the music business, how would you have done the deal with 3?
Well, I would have put him under an artist contract. Definitely. It'd been an artist contract between the producer and the artist, that I'm taking you, you know, not saying in these words, but lawyers put it together, but it's pretty much I'm taking you under my wing. all this, and when we get to a deal, then I'll get a separate production deal. Still keep me out of your shit, out of your business.
Yeah.
You take care of me. Honestly, that's on your heart. I'm being straight up honest. That's still on your heart, but I understand the business of the labels. We get to a label, you can get a production deal separate from your artistry. And that didn't happen when they went to the table with Empire. Somehow I got left out, at that moment.
About if you could put an amount to it to recoup what you gave for free to 3, about if you could put an amount to it, what would you say that amount would be?
I can't put an amount to what, because a lot of it is not recoupable. And that's what I'm saying. It would have to be, 3 would have to be here to understand that it's not an amount. Yeah. What I gave to 3 and poured into 3, he knows what I poured into him. I ain't saying, he didn't go to no other studios. He recorded other places. He knew the difference. Yeah, he went over here. They went to New York. No, they went to California one time, some big studio out there. Rain called me, they can't get his sound right. This dude recorded Chris Brown, and he named all these big accolades. The studios are big time. The labels who brought him down there. They couldn't get him sound right, and they wanted me to send my settings.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. That auto-tune you had over there was phenomenal.
Yes, sir, man.
It was, bro.
Hey, man.
Bro.
He just send them settings over. We needed to.
Say, man, them settings, man. That's them settings.
Did you send the settings? Did you?
Say, I gave them everything, man.
Oh, you see, man, that goes to show the character of the man.
Say, man, I gave them everything. Bro. But it's so much hate in their heart, they don't know how to use it. I'm just saying, it's that simple just to load up and do it, but it's so much hate. Yeah. It's so much hate that they won't even use it. I'm telling you, that's how much hate is there. If they use it, I know they're using it. That's called trade secrets.
Come on,
I know mine.
Yeah, you've been cooking up since the 80s.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
You've been cooking up since the 80s.
Them trade secrets. I know what my sound like.
Drop.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you. What did you learn most from 3 for the life of Melvin Noble? What did you learn watching him become what he came?
Man, it's funny, I can say this, from an artist, and, I'm going to remove the artist. I'm just going to talk about Melvin Nobles. And I'm big brother in this situation. So I'm doing more of the teaching, because I'm big bro. He look up to me as big bro, But what I got from that I may fault myself, again, and this don't have nothing to do with MO3's situation in the past, that when you see something and it's coming and you don't, you go off into a burning house and you see children there, your first action is to what? Pull the children up out of the burning house.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have allowed my, I won't say pride because it wasn't pride. The time the house was on fire is the time that we kind of just turned our backs to each other for a second. We wasn't beefing, we had an animosity, but I pulled back, and I think it was on, I'm dropped, Now, I'm not prideful, I'm dropped. Bro, I've been right here the whole time, I don't mind sitting back here and I just do me, what I've been doing my whole life. I shouldn't have done that. I think I should have stayed in the cut a little longer. I should have stayed in the cut. So that's what I learned. I got great patience. I'm here now. You see how much patience I got. Man, I got some patience, man. I'm having more patience. Oh, I can't say, you have more patience, people run you over, But I think what I did learn that, and it feel like that bit me again, is I should have removed him from the burning house and not allowed, at the time, Rain was trying to, he successfully separated. You know, he'll put it back on 3. Yeah, 3 has his own mind. 3 allowed these things to happen, but influence. So let's talk about influence. Influencing someone can, especially in a moment of you in the heat, you in the fire. Go out this window. Bro, that window in the back of the house, bro. We right here next to the door right here, bro. There ain't even no fire right here.
Yeah, but when that fire on you.
And he decided to want to go into the fire, you know. So I say, I feel like I learned that time again that I should have been the firefighter and the rescuer and just do what I know what I can do. And sometimes I don't want to do that because I know me. Too, I can go, if I go here, you go here, then I'm gonna go here. Now I'm here now, you know, and I ain't nobody, we all the same now. So I chose to take a step back and say, hey man. And right before the demise, we were right back about to come together. And it wasn't like it was a long time. It was like, you know, I had to say it like this. Just a relationship go bad for a few days, you know, they come back together. It was something like that, bro. We just had a misunderstanding, but he told this person that he finally see what it is. He understand, you know, I was tripping at this moment. And I see who with me. And we was about to lock back up and they took his life.
Man, are you going to watch this trial that's coming up?
I'm gonna show up on I didn't show up through the pre-trial. Yeah. I just didn't feel the want. You know, I had my own stuff going on and projects and, you know, and I just didn't want to, you know. Cause I look at it, man, you know, a lot of people, I'm see if y'all remember. Do y'all remember? And I don't know who was heading this out. What's the hotel downtown with all the lights? The new one we got.
Omni Hotel?
The Omni Hotel. Huh? Well, no, let's go back. Okay. Y'all remember the meeting that was taking place to squash the beef?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, man. Yeah. Y'all remember.
Yeah.
So at the time, me and a brother named Big Bub the Handler, Rashir, me and him was like rolling tough on, you know, we was out here in the bayous, you know, trying to help. At the time, we were protecting the sisters and some of the stuff that happened to Deep Ellums, all this around that time. So the minister, he talked to one of the ministers. So this time, this is happening. We really trying to save the brother's life, you know. So that meeting was the meeting to squash the beef and move forward.
Yeah, they didn't
and
show
if
up.
Y'all do remember, who didn't show up?
It was 3 who didn't show up, wasn't it?
No,
Wait,
sir.
3 was there?
3 was there.
Okay, so
yeah.
Then
Yella and Trout sent their manager and said they went down with it. 3 showed up.
Yeah.
3 was willing to squash the beef regardless how bad or how many people that he lost on his side, or how many people, I don't know what about that, but he showed up and willing to squash, and they said, nah. And I'm saying this to them, you know, that none of y'all would be going through this right now if y'all would just be bigger men. Because y'all all lose. We all lose, man. We lose on both sides. You could have showed up that day and squashed it. 3, y'all, he real. If y'all don't feel like he was real, 3 didn't have to show up. Y'all would have showed up. He'll be alive. You wouldn't be in court right now, Yella. Man, come on, bro. So the olive branch was extended to both of them. And so spiritual side of olive branch, if it's extended, if it's one situation and the olive branch is extended, both sides will have to come forward. One can't take it and the olive branch say, we're gonna save your life because you used to. No, both will have to. So the demise was put on both of them for not, accepting the olive branch.
In that moment.
You know? Because they both lose.
Man.
You
Okay.
know?
Well, August, I believe 24th is trial day.
24.
If you go there again, you have such ties to this whole story. Do you feel you might learn things or hear about things that you might have been privy to, or you feel like a lot of new information is going to hit you?
Both, probably more than likely both.
Okay.
Because you sit back all this time and pass, you think about stuff, you listen to songs, you like, man, that was, damn. Or you listening to them, their songs, it's just like, man, bro, y'all, if y'all took that talent and ran together, y'all had the idea, y'all was rolling together in the beginning.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
How
saying?
much
y'all
money is
had
left
the
on the
right
table?
idea. It ain't good that I don't care what another mother, feels, but if you had never lost a child, man, so many mothers have cried during this situation. That's what we really need to talk about. All these mothers that cried, we talk about all the killing, but they don't give a damn. They ain't said nothing about the mothers.
Yeah.
About the mothers that lost these, lost their children, lost their sons. What about the mothers? Nobody saying nothing to them, man. It's just MO3 mom. It's whoever was over here on this side and whoever was on this side. Bubba mama. I don't know the guys, names over here, but Trap Partners mamas.
Yeah.
Yellow Partners mamas. And what about them, man? Y'all give a damn any kind of way? Do y'all have an inkling of a heart or a soul? Where's your soul at? Where your light energy? Where is that at, man? It can't be dark every day. Don't get out in front of the people and just got to be hard and dark every day. Where your light at, man? So a lot of mothers died when they lost their children, man. So it's like, man, come on, man. We gotta be smarter than this and do better.
No, definitely.
The
losses, even for Yella's mother to have passed and not see this thing through,
I don't even know what happened with that.
So many losses on so many ends that leads to this storyline. It's really heartbreaking at the end of the day.
Right.
Based on the story that could have been told for this city. With that being said, Dropper, I gotta say, man, this is one of those ones where we have a conversation and we learn so much about a situation where this is gonna be dissected. People are going to sit back and watch and have comments. I'm sure they're going to make other videos and say, hey, we got to speak and respond to what you said. And we do want people to come back. And if they were part of this story, your story, want them to come. If they have to challenge what you're saying or add to what you're saying, we want them to come up and speak to this. And hopefully one day we'll get that Vegas story from you.
Yes, it was funny, man.
We don't got to do it tonight, but hopefully one day we'll get that Vegas story from you. But
can I say one more thing?
No, please. You got the floor.
And this to what you just said, if someone coming back on what I'm saying, or what I've said, don't look at me. A lot of what I'm saying is what 3 said. Don't look at me and then the things that I have said, don't challenge. I don't like saying my truth. This ain't the truth. Why are you challenging the truth to paint another narrative outside of what's real and exact? I'm not gonna respond to y'all with that mess. I ain't getting into it with y'all with all this, I gotta come pop in and say this because he said that and call me out on all that. Come on, man. Miss me with all that, man. You're gonna be out here on your own little old branch, out there, begging for a stream. And that's just for real, man. I ain't on that. I ain't on that, man.
Yeah, that's why this interview as long as it is, because the devil's in the details, and I don't want to use that term, but
no, I got you.
For you to tell your story and get up to this point, and again, the character, your heart, based on things, the ways you could have went, you didn't go that way. It goes all the way back to when you first met 3. Why is he on the floor? Hey, that's a man who's trying to fix the situation, not trying to add to it. Oh, y'all got to dapping him up because he got, he owned that.
Come on,
you trying to fix it right then and there, and it seems like you were trying to fix him the whole time, at least get him in the right direction. So For that, we appreciate you.
Yeah, my heart definitely was there.
Yeah.
Every moment other way. All the way to the top, my heart was there.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else I wish I could have saw was 3 be here today to tell his own story and be with his children. If he loved nothing else, he loved his children. You know, so
they was gonna have a life
to him,
for real with their daddy. Drop, if you don't mind. I don't know if you have any shout outs for people that, you know, helped you to get to this point.
Yes, sir.
If you can, give those shout outs, and then also if they, you know, need to follow you and see what you got going on, tell them how to follow you.
Man, I definitely want to give some shout outs. Gonna give some shout outs.
Yes, please. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, areas. Cool, man. What you got coming up? Take your time. Take your time.
Cool, man. So first, shout out to the brotherhood. You know, the brotherhood is the NOI. You know, the brothers know me. You know, they know me as a real one as well. Always laughing and smiling. Same thing I'm doing to this day. Shout out to the brotherhood. You know, they shaped my life to be even better than I thought. You know, I've always been a good dude, and they gave me something even better. You know, the Minister Farrakhan. You know, salute to the minister. You know, because without him, none of the brothers would have that heart of you know, we ain't over here gang banging on religion. We out here trying to save lives and make things better, regardless of who you are, what religion. Stay in your religion. Make it better though. Make it better. You know. So definitely shout out to the minister. In my circle of brothers, man, we got a circle called Drop Squad, you know, that they wanted to, which is, I'm not of myself. I'm not, if you figured that out thus far, I ain't out here like that. But they wanted to make the squad Drop Squad. And I'm like, come on, bro. They said, no, bro, we rolling with you, man. You know, and I respect that. And these brothers are, you know, successful, you know, in the industry too, man. These brothers are so it's an honor to, you know, these brothers, you know, brother Big Nino, you know, Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, brother Tracy, Bug. You know, these brothers that been right here when all the stuff was shaky and crazy. These brothers right there in the cuff, you know. Let me say, Commissioner, you know, he's who produced Lauryn Hill's one and only greatest album of all times. You know, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This brother is one that, you know, shoot, these brothers how to get behind little old me. Who am I? You know, Dino, man, he got enough plaques to wrap around his room, man, 2 or 3 times. You know, straight up. Brothers had to come, you know, to my aid. You know, so I thank God for them brothers. You know, brother Tracy. I went and spoke to a spiritual lady, you know, and she told me a brother that will help me on my journey. And that brother showed up. You know, brother Tracy, he showed up on the journey. That's how I met the other brothers. You know, so I thank them brothers, man. Sa'ank Rasa, a brother named Sa'ank. You know, his name is hard to say, but it's Sa'ank. That brother's been a genuine brother in my life. You know, these are older brothers that have all poured into me. You know, man, I hope I ain't just leaving no one out.
I mean, there's a plethora of people left out, but you know, you can't get them all.
Right.
But hopefully the ones that here, and I know, again, charge it to your heart. I know you.
Yeah, please charge it. You know, y'all know my heart, man. But let me say this about, you know, projects that I have working. Some good projects too, man. Please. You know, I'm still busy. You know, they think, you know, cause you know that nobody don't know me, but you got, you know, brother Rashir. You know, y'all talked about that earlier. I Blame Myself. That's out there right now. It's a beautiful song that's about accountability. You know, great song. Y'all go check that out. You can pull it up on all platforms. You know, we got think about things that are out right now. Dynasty, the movie. So it's a sister named Lioness Talani. Lioness is a filmmaker. She's a black sister, first black sister that put out a sci-fi film, and an award-winning sci-fi film. She done won awards outside of Texas, across seas. She done won awards. So, and the movie is out right now. Lil Flip stars in the movie. Lil Flip he's the villain in the movie, and it's called Dynasty. It's on Prime. Prime picked it up. So y'all go check that movie out. I was part of that movie. You know, I did, doing my thing, what I always do. So definitely check out that movie. It's called Dynasty. We got Song. If you pull up, Song name is different. But it's SAHNK, and he has a song that just came out, Lift Every Voice. Everybody knows Lift Every Voice and sing. And so he did a new Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it's like, man, it's killing. But Lift Every Voice and Sing is a very positive song, man. It's beautiful. Man, it has a lot of energy behind it. It's another level of Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's called Lift Every Voice. So, Frank Mocha, it's a lot of, if y'all don't know who Frank Mocha is, he just won a Grammy. So this brother's on the record. It's a lot of Grammy guys on there, man. It's full of man, I work with a lot of great guys, man. I've been in this mix. Rap is one side of me. I like music. I do everything.
Legendary.
But that song is out there. Y'all gotta listen to that. We got young artists that I'm working with. We got Neri Rashad, Newski. Neri Rashad, he's real nice. Young artist. He's coming up. Got Outleft, another artist that's coming up. Y'all be hearing from him soon. Script, he's coming up. Y'all be hearing from him soon. Make sure I ain't forgot nobody. Make sure I ain't forgot. I don't want to just not say something. Oh no, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, man.
These are dope projects.
And that's Drop Squad. A lot of this is Drop Squad. So and many more. Man, me and Don finna do some more work.
Okay, yeah. Don getting back out there.
Yeah, we finna get back to
very
it.
Talented artist. Very talented artist.
Yeah, we started together. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Again, that's why we got to bring you back in part 2.
Him and MO3, that's how they. That's the connection.
Oh, okay. Oh, you the one who got him in front of Lou Steric to wait for that.
You it was before. Okay, that was before that. That was before that. It was, man. Yeah, But I'm the one who introduced those brothers, man.
Man, that's a blessing right there. Now they made some dope collab music.
Yes, sir.
For those that do, since you are still very active, and those that do want to work with you or just follow you, see what you got going on, how can they follow you? What all platforms are you on? How can they reach you?
Man, I always said something, but I ain't gonna say it tonight. I say it had to be meant. If you find me, then it's meant. We supposed to work. I've always been like that. I've never just pushed myself like that. You find me, we supposed to work.
That's right.
So y'all, out of all this talking and y'all listening and paying attention, hey man, dig deep.
You know somebody knows somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know my name. Go out there. I know the brothers are right now saying, bro, put your stuff out.
No. Don't make it easy for them. Yeah. Don't, because if they serious, they'll find you.
Right.
Don't make it easy for them. Exactly. For real. So yeah, we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna leave it like that.
Yes,
With that being said, for those that know him, Ray, drop.
Yes, sir.
We got him in the building on the couch. Legendary interview.
Yes,
we got to say.
Salute to everybody, man. I thank you, brothers.
Come on now. You are a real life street star.
Yes, sir.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
it ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street star.